Okay, we're live, but it'll be a minute probably
Yeah.
before anybody gets here
Hello,
because of the
everyone.
lag. Hi,
No,
we're
I
glad you're here.
I figured something was up.
Yeah, well, it was like, oh, you don't understand what time it is, but I didn't say that. I was a good family member instead of a good art friend.
Oh, there you go. Well, and that's the other thing, is family comes first, honestly.
I agree. I agree. But
So
it was like, do I take the time to tell Tanya what's going on, or do I just do this faster?
I figured something was up. I was just patiently waiting. I didn't get here till just a few minutes ago because I had realized that they actually took my mail this morning,
Hi,
and so I went
Mina.
out. I went out to check the mailbox, and they didn't bring my mail.
They
So it's
didn't
like,
bring your mail. They just picked up mail.
no, and they were supposed to bring it Saturday.
Oh, good
So,
grief.
they still haven't brought it. So I'm going to have to go in. Hi, Mina. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Mindy.
It's good to see y'all, ladies. Glad you're here.
Yep. Oh, goody. My dryer finally quit. Oh, and
Oh,
let me turn this one fan off and see if it will be quieter.
okay. Well, I had
Um,
took a bunch of stuff to the post office yesterday, and one of my Happy Mails, they couldn't she couldn't find that address anywhere. I was
huh.
like, well, I took it off of her, the address on my, something she sent me. It's got to be right. And I said, well, I'll go home and check it. I know how much it's going to cost to send it, so I can just put stamps on it, send it from home tomorrow. And she said, okay. So I got home and I checked, and for some reason, instead of putting South Carolina, I had put Kentucky.
Oh, no.
But the
Oh,
address was right, the zip code was right, except for the state. I was like,
okay.
well, okay.
Hi, Patricia
Anyway,
and
I got
Mindy
it out
and
on the
Kathy
mailbox
and
today, so
Holly
we'll see.
and Joyce and Kathy and I think that's everybody. Did I see? Brittany came
Hey,
in.
it's good to see
Mina
you.
and Kathy and Mindy. Hello, everyone. We're going to hold off just a few minutes and just chat a little bit and just to be sure that everybody's gotten here. Um, I got my pages already.
Yay.
Yay. Of course,
Me too.
I had to have them ready because we were going to go off,
Yeah.
so mine were ready. Um,
Well, I
I
tore
actually,
mine down so they'll fit. So,
okay. And then the next thing we're going to need is some thread like that.
I still need to get that.
Uh-oh. Yep. We got to have some thread like that first. Some
Okay.
kind of something. You could use,
I'm assuming we need a needle.
yep, we're going to need a big needle. Um, you could use some yarn like this, just, like knitting worsted. You could actually use any yarn, but I highly recommend you use something simple for the first part.
I've got this. I'm trying to decide if it's too bright to go with my.
It's going to get covered up some.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and use this because it was easy to find.
Mina says they're all chumping about the mystery. Yes. Everybody's chumping about the mystery. Let's see. I think I have a needle that's out in here. Okay.
I have two needles in the house that probably are going to be the perfect size since they're not here.
Of course.
I took them in to sew in the signatures for this little book here that I made with my leftover papers.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And they're pinned into my mug rug sitting by my chair in the house.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm going to run get them since we're waiting just a second.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't want to start. This is the important part, and I don't want to start until I have most everybody here.
No, I agree 100%.
With
I'll be back in a sec.
if we were doing something that didn't have to be explained a few times. Yeah, a hole puncher's gonna help too, Mina. Yep, I am actually going to use my my pokey tool. Now, this is corrugated cardboard. I think pokey tool is going to be the perfect choice. So, some kind of heavy thread cord type stuff. Maybe yarn, big-eyed needle, and pokey tool. Whoop, whoop. Yep, Joyce. Whoop, whoop. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. The dryer keeps turning itself back on. I forget about that. You know, I like this cover more and more all the time. It's sparkly. I don't know if you guys can see in the green paint. It's got like glitter in the green paint. I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but I really like how it came out. Yeah, Kathy, you may have guessed right about the mystery. I told you guys, Lisa and I were channeling one another the other day. It was just so odd that we both were having the same thoughts about what we were going to do. You know, Joyce, we haven't had any rain here yet. We had a little tiny sprinkle Sunday. I think it sprinkled Sunday. But my mom said the whole 2 weeks we were gone, it didn't rain. And this is the time of year we get our rain. So it's kind of odd that we're not getting any. It's all going around us. And our grass, now Jeff mowed the grass, but our grass wasn't even that bad. Hi, Holly. My brother-in-law had made the comment that we were coming home. Since we were coming home, he wasn't going to mow, but he hadn't come to mow because it hadn't grown that much. So.
Okay, I'm back.
You're back.
Did I miss anything great?
Nope, I was just talking. Joyce is going to float away. She's going to get in her canoe and drift away. Because it's raining so much. We have had hardly no rain at all. So.
We haven't had any either. I wish that she could send us some because, well, I say that, but my daughter's having to do the mowing right now because my husband hurt his shoulder. And so she's probably happy if it doesn't rain too much.
Well, and I was just telling them that Jeff went ahead and mowed when we got home, but normally this time of year, Perry would have had to come every week. Because our grass grows like that. Well, we don't have grass. We have weeds. So it grows.
We do too. And they grow fast.
It rains and it grows. And it rains and it grows. And it wasn't even so bad that Jeff could have left it. He just wanted to get it done, kind of thing. And but he could have left it. It wasn't even that tall. And this time of year, we normally have to mow all the yards. So I forgot something that you're probably going to want is your pokey tool. Oh, she's got her pokey tool. How long do you think we should wait?
Oh, maybe 5 more minutes.
Okay, 5 more minutes. So that sounds like a deal. The sheep like playing in our canoe. Okay. Oh, dear.
I wish I had a few sheep out in a pasture behind my house. I think that would be very relaxing for me right now. Just to look out my window and see that. That would just be great. They could eat my weeds.
Jeff always wanted goats. Back when we had chickens and rabbits, Jeff wanted goats.
I wouldn't mind goats, except that I could spin the wool off the sheep.
You can spin the wool off of certain goats.
Certain ones, yep. That's true.
You just got to get the right goats.
Crochet hook.
Oh, crochet hook. Yeah, that probably is a good idea. If you
I don't
happen to
actually
have
have one here, but I do have one somewhere.
a
This is
crochet
my
hook,
pokey tool.
yeah, a crochet hook might, I probably won't use one, but a crochet hook might, when you get down to the end, be a good idea.
Well, if I need one, I'll hunt one up when I get to
Yeah,
that place.
I'd have to go hunt one. I'm not sure where they would be.
I know where they used to be, and then I, straightened up my studio, and
Yeah.
that's why it's a mess again because I'm digging around trying to find all those things I put up.
Uh-huh. Oh, Holly says hers aren't wool sheep. Are they eating sheep, Holly?
They're weed eaters.
Oh, they're weed eaters. Okay. Yes, goat milk and cheese. I
Yes.
have to
Now
tell
I
you
would.
though, my kiddo is allergic to milk. Oh, he's allergic to all dairy products, period, and a lot of other foods. Well, when they diagnosed his allergies, they were just in awe that he would be allergic to goat's milk as well, because most kids that are allergic to milk are not allergic to goat's milk, and Brandon
That's
is.
true. Poor guy.
Yeah.
He's got a
So,
double dose, didn't he?
oh yeah, oh bad, and he's allergic to wheat, rye, oats, barley, and buckwheat, and that's not all of the grains. Um, that doesn't sound like all of them. I can't remember. He's also allergic to bananas, which is extremely rare.
Yeah.
They're called hair sheep. They are bred for meat. Okay.
Are they pets, Holly, or um do you use them for what they were bred for?
But I think they have a pretty good sized farm, if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't I don't know.
But
Hi,
being
Janet.
allergic,
So
hi
glad you're here.
Janet. Chat just jumped like crazy. Yeah, no ice cream for Brandon. That's right, Mina. However, they make Rice Dream ice cream, which, believe it or not, is pretty good. It's just expensive.
Yeah.
Back when he was little, I would buy that. Hi, Nashua.
Hi, Nashua.
I would buy that stuff for him, and when he was little, now he just doesn't eat it. Um, if he is really, really, really craving ice cream, he will go and get it. Um, it doesn't affect him quite as badly now. Like a piece of pizza would send him over the edge for the whole weekend, before, and now it's just minor. So,
Well, that's
but
a blessing. You
yeah.
protected him long enough that
Well, his body, he first off, it takes a long time for. Did you know it takes 72 hours for anything you put in your mouth to get actually out of your body? Because it goes into your bloodstream. So it takes a full 72 hours for it to go away. So even like back when he was little, they taught me to feed him on a 4-day rotation diet where if he was going to eat something that was like related to eggs, like chicken, he had to eat it one day and not have it for 4 days. And that really made a huge difference in how well he felt.
yeah. Well, I
So,
know that kids for sure have that. I was trying to think it was medications I was looking up and they were talking about how things stay in a kid's body a lot longer than it does in adults.
yep. Even in adults, though,
So,
even in adult, it takes a long time for food to go away. Hi, Deborah and Terry.
hi Deborah, hi
I
Terry.
I hope we didn't miss anybody coming in.
Deborah, it was you.
Uh-oh.
I was trying to send Deborah Happy Mail yesterday. And I went to the post office and they said, this is not a correct address. We can't find this address anywhere. And I was like, I know it's the right address. She gave it to me. So I came home and looked and I had put you in Kentucky instead of South Carolina. So they couldn't find you. Anyway, I sent it today. I just put stamps on it and put it on the mailbox today once I figured out where I had messed up. So you'll be a day later than everybody else, but it's coming.
Me and Brandon eats that way too. Now he eats meat, but he eats a lot of vegetables. And lately he's been eating a lot of kale
Hi, Beth.
and cooked greens. You could tell he grew up in the South. Well, it's after a quarter after. I'm going to
Okay.
start, and I'm going to tell you the mystery. Mary's not here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, she won't know the mystery.
Maybe she's lurking. She doesn't
She
usually
might be
lurk
lurking.
at the beginning, but she might be.
She might be lurking. We're going to fill this hole up, believe it or
Janet's
not.
posting links, so let's give them a
Okay.
few more minutes.
All right, I'll wait but not only that, it takes a few minutes to pay attention to be able to hear. Stu is the ram. Lego for Lego lamb. Lego lamb. The Duplo baby Lego. Barley to go with Stu and Tater.
I love it, Holly.
Oh dear.
Thank
Okay,
you, Janet.
Janet's done.
She's done posting, so.
Okay, thank you, dear. We're going to make a weaving. We're going to put a little weaving in our little hole. To fill up this little hole, we're going to do a little weaving, and it'll show on the outside, and then when you open it, it'll be in here too. I think many of you guessed that. Now, Lisa, I did several things of research, and the thing about circular weaving is you can do it either with an even number of holes or an odd number, not holes, but even number of
strings
or an odd number of strings. The problem with the even number of strings is you end up going over the same and under the same one each time. So every time around.
And that's what's weird. Maybe I don't have an even number, and I thought I did. I mean, maybe I don't have I don't know. Of course, you can't even tell looking at this. The thing, I know I have an even number because I have one string over here where I tied on and one string over here where I tied off, and everywhere else is 2. So there has to be an even number, unless, I didn't think about this, unless I don't have an even number here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I have 25 and it works.
Uh-huh. So that's the deal, is that
okay.
There's 2 ways to go about it, but if you want to be able to go over, under, over, under, over, under, and then when you come around to the next one, and I'll show you down the road, the next one where you went over, you'll go under, which is what weaving normally does.
Yeah, that's
you have
more,
to have it
more secure fabric that way.
Right. It's a more secure fabric. And granted, this is not a very big piece. It's more decorative. It's not a big deal, but it's not that hard to get an odd number of holes around here. So, oh, I meant to have a piece of white paper. Give me 1 second, guys. Of course.
No.
Well, now there's paper all over the floor. Okay. I'm just going to draw my paper. I'm going to do it on this piece of white paper just so you can see what I'm talking about, okay?
Why don't you make yourself big?
Honey, you're the host. I can't.
Oh, I'll make you big.
Oh, okay. Let me bring you in though. Since you made me big, I'll bring the camera in. Because I think I can do that. Yep. Okay. Okay, so now this is my hole, and I have to put the little holes I'm going to make outside that ring. See, I drew it the size of this, and I have to make the holes out here. So I'm just going to put numbers in here. This is a 1. This is 12. Okay. And this is 6 down here. This is 3. And this is 9. Think of the clock. So if I put a hole right here above 12 and then go down here and put one a little bit on either side of the 6, and then I come back and I put one, this is 3, I put it a little north of the 3 and a little north of the 9, and then fill in with 2 holes between each dot. And granted, they're not exactly the same distance apart, but they're really close. I now have 13 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And that's all of the holes I'm going to make, because this is a small. Hi, Violet. Hi, Suzanne. This is a small hole. Our weaving's going to get tight as it is because it is that size. So right now, what I want to do is I'm just going to do the same thing on my book. And I'll use this just so you can see it. I am just going to put one at 12. And then this is 6. So I'm going to go a little on each side of 6. And then this would be 9. And so I'm going to go a little north of 9. And this would be about 3, a little north of 3. And then I'm going to put 2 dots in between each one.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, just a minute. What?
I just splattered some from my Posca pen onto my cover.
Uh-oh. Can you make it look like it belongs there?
I'm trying.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my hole punch and I'm going to put this nice big hole with my hole punch right through the dot. Okay.
I'm going to mute myself and dry these dots because I used a Posca pen. And so.
Okay. Hi, Sherry. And anybody else who I missed coming in? Good to have y'all here. Just be careful when you're going through there that you don't stick your fingers. And like I said, I put them roughly the same distance apart, but I am not going to worry about it. I am just not. And they're about 3/8 to 1/2 inch away from the edge. I want it to be reasonably sturdy. So did I get a hole in there? Yeah, I missed the white spot. It would help if I put my glasses on, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I need something to put inside this. My cardboard wants to bend when I'm poking through.
Oh yeah. Well, you distressed it, and that's probably why. Mine is pretty sturdy. The other thing you could do, guys, is open it like this and put it on top of your cutting mat.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
do. Or put some other cardboard underneath it.
Oh, cardboard's a better idea because it can poke through and won't mess up my needle.
Yeah, there you go.
Or a book. If I could reach my phone book, that's what I would do, but I can't reach it. There's too much stuff in front of it at the moment.
Now, if you don't feel that's enough holes, you can add more spokes. But this is not, like I said, this is not very big weaving. It's going to be, you're going to have a lot of spokes in there when you start working with it.
And I didn't do mine very good, so one of my holes is I'm going to move, and it won't be on my yellow dot.
Well,
so that's just random yellow dots sticking out there.
I've got these over here are a little far apart, but I'm not going to worry about it. Let me know when you're finished. Okay. Yes, yes, Patricia, I will gladly. And hello. All right. I have my hole, and I just drew my hole. And if you think about it like a clock, we have 12 at the top, 6 at the bottom, 3 and 9. So I put one dot right above the 12. Then I put a dot slightly to each side of the 6 right here. Then put one, just there's 3, put it a little north of 3. And this one over here is a little north of 9. And then between each of the dots you now have, not these two, but I put 2 more dots in here and 2 more dots there, 2 and 2. That will give me 13 holes. And I put these, 3/8 of an inch to half an inch outside the edge of my hole.
I got some of mine a little close, but hopefully I'll just be careful.
Okay. Let me know when everybody's ready for the next part.
I'm ready. I don't know anybody else. Are y'all ready? Tell us if you're ready.
Yeah, let us know if you're ready.
I think I'm gonna throw some more yellow dots on this because
take me off of big and show us.
Okay. See, I have these dots right here that were in the wrong place.
Yep.
And now I just have dots.
Okay.
So I'm going to sprinkle some more while we're waiting.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, chat just seems to be frozen.
Everybody's poking holes.
That's probably true. Let us know, guys. That Posca pen really spits, doesn't it?
Yeah, this yellow one's really bad about it. And then, of course, when I want it to, it doesn't.
Okay, Beth says she's ready. Patricia, did what I tell you make sense? Okay, Patricia said so. Repeat it again. Okay. This is my hole. And if you pretend it's a clock, and we have 12 at the top, 6 at the bottom, 3 and 9, we put 1 above the 12, 1 on each side of the 6 a little bit. See, this would be 6 o'clock right here. If it was right there, but we want the dots a little bit on each side. Then we put a dot slightly north or above the 3 o'clock and slightly above the 9 o'clock. Then between these dots, okay, we got this one here, we go 2 between there. Between this one and the 12, we go 2 between there. 2 and 2. That gives us 13 holes. Mary was here apparently. Hello, Mary. Oh, Susan was asking if she's here. Okay, so then they're about 3/8 to half an inch outside the edge of our circle, and I put those dots on, and then I poked a hole with my hole punch. I hope that makes sense. And that was a giant wasp just flew up to the window. Hi, Tommy. she may not be planning on coming, Janet. I don't know, but I know she was really wondering about the whole thing. Yes, Tommy, I think that's a good idea. Okay, Patricia's got it. All right. When Lisa's finished drying, we'll go to the next part. I don't know who else playing along. Sounds like Patricia is, and I know Beth is. So if anybody else is playing along, let me know so that we can make sure you stay caught up. I don't want to rush through this and confuse y'all. I'm confusing enough as it is. And Lisa, I really like the yellow dots. I don't know why, but I do.
I have to be sure and use some yellow yarn.
Yes. Kathy's playing along. Okay, Kathy, do you have your holes? And Beth's taking notes. Okay. Beth and Mina. Okay.
Okay, where did I put my needle? Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Patricia, that's all right. Just watching. Okay, Terry. Okay, Mina, you could use, if you've got some like worsted weight yarn, that will work just fine. The thing is that I wouldn't, sometimes if you're trying to use something like this for your warp threads, it can be a pain. So if you can use something that's just a little plain, it would work fine. At least this looks like a starry night. It does. Okay, so here's the thing. I have a huge
It's actually 2, Holly, between the main holes. You're 12 and then 2 down close to 6 and 3 and 9 and 2 in between each of those.
Yeah, I was going to say the main holes, yeah, there's 1 at 12, 2 on each side of 6, 1 above the 3 and above the 9, and then only 2 holes between each of those. Thank you for catching that, Lisa.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I mean, it's got some, yeah, and waxed linen would make you crazy, I'm afraid. String would work too. Embroidery thread, embroidery thread would work real well. Yeah. Okay, Holly. Okay, so now, I don't want to work with this whole big ball. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go and basically I'm going to take it all the way across my page because I don't want to run out. And I'm going to get like 13 or 14 pieces that are about this big. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that's probably plenty. I mean,
you started counting and I forgot where I was.
Okay, and I'm going to thread my needle because it's just easier to have it on a needle, especially going through the cardboard. Okay. Now then, Lisa, would you make me big again, please?
Yes, but I had to finish counting first.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have interrupted.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to put in warp threads that go across this hole. So I'm going to go down through this 12 right here, and I'm going to go across underneath to where the 6 is, to where the left of the 6 is. Okay, and that'll be underneath. Then while I'm underneath, I'm going to go over here to that hole, and it'll come out the top. Then I'm going to go over here. Then I'll go underneath and come up the top. Okay? Actually, I'm going to start from the bottom because I want these warp threads to all be on top. So I'm going to start from the bottom. I will show you on my thing, but I'm just trying to explain that what I want you to do is come across. So if I start from here, now let me back out a little bit.
So are you doubling your thread?
Nope, I wasn't going to.
Okay. Well, when you were making it so long, I thought that you were going to, go around and have 2 threads per each hole instead of 1. So that's why I was wondering if you were doubling.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure I had enough. And I'm going to leave a long tail because back here I'm going to tie it together. Okay. So I come up through that hole and I'm going to go down through this one. And right now I'm not going to pull it real tight. I'm just going to
You might clamp your tail.
Oh, that's a good idea. Can you show yourself and show it clamped?
If you clamp it, you can leave it longer. You can leave it as long as you want, but if you clamp it, then you can make your warp snug.
Yep.
Otherwise, you'll be fighting with it all the time.
I agree. That's a really, really good idea.
I'm going to make you big again.
Okay. So what I did was put a clamp on it, and that way I can snug it up. Okay. And because you want this pretty snug. Okay. So listen.
And
all right. So then I'm going to come up in the hole that's right here, which is just a minute. I'll show you. It's this one to the left of the 6. Okay. And then up at the top, I'm going to go down through the one that's to the right of the 12. And you want now, especially since we've got it clamped, you want to keep this reasonably snug. Doesn't have to be real tight, but reasonably snug. And then the next thing I'm going to do is come up here. And we probably have way too much thread, but
yeah. And it's
better to have too much than not enough. Okay. So each time we go down, we come up beside it, and then we run across. And I hate to tell you this, but my crosses are not in the dead center because I did not measure my holes. I'm not worrying about it. This is, free form weaving. There we go. All right. See how we're
hold on to the last place you stuck your thread in while you're putting it through the next hole. That'll kind of keep your warp tensioned as you go.
Okay, that's true. And because we do want to try to keep it snug. You don't want it so snug that you can't go up and down through it. But I put that white paper in there, guys, so that it was easier to see my threads. And I guess it would help if I put my glasses on. Okay. Lisa, you can make me side by side with you now, and so that they can see what you're doing too.
Okay.
But I'm hoping this is making sense, guys. Not listening to you. Hi, Journey. See, now they're a little loose. We can go back and snug them up a little bit later, but
hey, I'm getting rid of a lot of my string. I just
got too much.
just causing me a problem. Yes, I got too much.
Yes,
Because
I
when I
got
put it on,
way
I
too
was
much.
thinking we were gonna do double, and
Yeah, I've
I
got way
was
too
doing
much
double,
to do.
so I'd have like a mile too much thread.
Okay, so now here's the thing. On the last hole over here, we got to get back up there. All right, we got one more spot to do. So what I'm doing is I'm coming back to this one, which is the first hole I went into. Okay, and I'm going to go up there. Now, if you notice, everything doesn't kind of go together really well right this second, but it will in a minute when we start going around. Okay, so if I go down through this hole, okay, see, when we start actually weaving, all of that stuff will come to the center, and it'll be all right. I got this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I did something wrong, Lisa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Well,
Do you have the
how
right
many
number of
threads?
threads?
No, I have the right number of holes, but for some reason I have an extra thread, which is not, I can fix it, but it's, I'm just wondering how I
Why?
did that because I thought I had it figured out. I'm waiting for you to finish so that we can look at it. Hello,
Okay.
Mary. We're going to weave.
Well, my stuff keeps balling up on me and making little knots in there. So it's taking me forever to do this.
Yes, Kathy, I was going to tie the ends together. Back here on, actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back through to the front, like so, and put this one back through to the front and tie it together on the front so that I can add beads or something to it later.
Well, the problem with starting from the back is that when you get finished, your front hole is,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yep. That's what happened right here. I have 2 threads that come out of what? The two when it comes out of the same hole. This one right here that came out of the same hole.
Because okay, I see.
I'm going to treat that like one. And I had that worked out. I don't know why it went off kilter. I don't know what I did wrong.
Well,
because I had it figured out. And I don't know what I've done.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I'm going to take this one across there and see if that helps it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. See the one where you came out where there's 2 threads coming out of the same hole?
Yeah.
If when we go to weave, we just treat that like one thread.
Well, I won't be able to. Well, I guess I can up to here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the only place that you've got two threads
Right.
coming out of the same hole.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to treat that one like the same.
And I'm going to take this one back out to the front.
And that's what I did. I just took them out to the front because I wanted to probably add beads to them later or something.
Right.
So. Yes, even if it comes. Yep. Well, Teresa, I knew that I did something. I mean, I sat here and figured this out. Where's my little piece of paper? Huh. Oh, there it is. Oh no, I sat here and figured it out earlier and played with it. But
I think that when you do, I don't know.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, I'm not sure that I did an even number of holes. I mean, no. When
didn't.
it worked better to have an even number of holes, but and that's, I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah.
But I only did it once. I didn't do it a bunch of times, so I may have done it wrong the first time when I did it. And
well, and you know, I've done this before, but it's been a long time.
yeah. Well, and both times I did it, I just started and wrapped around.
Right. So you ended up double. I'm going to use this thread as my beginning piece for weaving. What I'm going to do is just I'm just going to double it like so. Clear down. Yeah. I've got the needle on it like so. I'm just going to use this piece to start. Yeah. And yeah, they do look like dream catchers. Now here's the thing that ended up wrong is that I've got this extra piece of thread right here. So where there's two threads coming out of one hole, I'm just going to pretend that that is one thread. I'm just going to use it like one thread in the center. And that's what, you know, is really going to make the difference. So when Lisa, did you start? Lisa's already started. She's going for it. So I'm just going to pick one that's down here on the bottom, and I'm going to go in and out, in and out.
I'm going to go around it, you know, a few times with this.
Yeah, that's what I figured. If I go around it a few times with this thread, then and you know what? I might leave a little bit of extra in the middle just because, well, let's see. What can I do with that? I can just
leave it hanging out from behind for a while.
Yeah, that's what I
cut it off after you get past it.
Yep. But I'm going to leave enough that I can get hold of it because that does make a difference in how you can hold on to it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to have glasses. Okay. And like I said, that one thread where I am
once you do it the first time, it pulls it together, and then it's real easy after that to count them as one.
That's right. And it just looks like one. And
the way I did it on my hoop, I made every one of them
separate
into one thread, the doubles into one thread.
Oh, so yeah. Mm-hmm. I just got a little, somehow or another, I got a little loopy thing in there. I wasn't paying attention or something. And you just weave over and under. And what happens is that the last time you were around, the one you are going under now was the one you went over last time. So it's just like regular straight weaving, only in a circle. Now, once I get done with this really thin thread, I'll get rid of the needle, because the next threads will be easier to take. Just
Yeah, you can just kind of butterfly them and
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you need to once you get going, you don't have to pull it really, really tight. Just snug it up.
Yes.
You just have to really pull it tight the first little bit so that it'll go all the way to the middle.
Right. And mine is a little asymmetrical. It's a little off. I didn't pull it to the center. And I'm fine with that. The other thing is that because, you know, these weren't really, really tight, but they'll tighten up enough down the road with the threads we put in. And I think I'm going to switch to something else. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this all this length. Let me back out some more. Hi, Shelly. What's Mary said something. Okay, Mary, I'm glad.
Okay, now I don't know how Tanya's going to do it, but that first one that I left long at the beginning, I went ahead and cut it pretty short, but I'm leaving this one long until I get past it several times, and then I can cut it shorter.
Right, and I think what I'm going to do is leave this one. I'm going to stick it. I was just going to make myself a little smaller. I'm going to stick it through to the back and leave it there hanging loose, because I might actually pick it up again and make a round in a minute or two after I've put in something else in.
Thing you could do, since I just cut mine off, I thought about this. You know, they're going to be hanging out in the back unless you cut them really close.
Mm-hmm.
So if you left them pretty long, you could add beads to all of the places where you changed.
Right, and if you put them to the front, then your beads would be on the front.
On the outside. Yeah, you could do it either way. I'm going to have beads here in the front, but I think I'm going to have these others in the back.
Others in the back?
Yeah. If I can.
I will tell you.
Actually, I kind of like the idea of it to the front.
I kind of like the idea of front too, so I'm probably going to stick mine. I can stick them through later with the needle. So
I'm going to just glue this one down later, and then I'll stick the other ones all through to the front. But I think you're right. Taking them through to the front later will probably be easier, so you can see what you're doing right now. Okay, I got to go get some different fibers.
And I think that's what I'm going to do is just, I'm just going to leave them on the back, and I'm going to leave a reasonable dangle, reasonable amount. So see here, I'm going to just leave that much, and then I can take the needle and run it through to the front later. This one is going to make it hard for y'all to see, but I think you got the concepts now. It helps if you don't have too much yarn to try to pull through there.
Yeah, when you're in the middle here, you can get quite a few layers with a shorter piece of yarn.
Right.
But as you get out here, you'll need longer pieces of yarn to make as many turns. I'm just going to use this whole little thing because it is pretty short to begin with. So.
And if you have yarns like this one that's fuzzy, and then you go in with a yarn that's more plain, you won't see the plain yarn as much as you see the fuzzy yarn, because it, like my center is almost already hidden because this fuzzy yarn is in the middle. It's, you know, it's what's showing. And you want to squish it in there, you know, just take your fingers and kind of rake it into the center every so often.
You could use a fork for that too.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That wasn't a good sound.
No, I pulled it. Pulled my tail back through.
Okay.
Now, what did I do there? Oh, good grief. That's weird. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, this fuzzy yarn is a little hard to tell where I, you know, if I've missed something.
Oh, yeah. That's true. So you just keep going and don't worry about it.
That's what I did. I just kept going and didn't worry about it. So it's also, believe it or not, very fine. It doesn't look like it's fine, but the actual center yarn thread thing is real pretty thin.
You kind of have to hold on to your tail until you've come back around a couple of times, and then it's pretty easy to let it go and just keep going.
Yeah. But boy, this yarn's taking a lot to go out anywhere. Okay. I'll put
and
that
you can make,
through.
you know, some circles really fat. I mean, some colors a bunch of, you know, and some just, well, like one, you know,
One
where
pass.
it's just like a little line, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy is confused.
Uh-oh. What did we confuse her with?
If we're confused about how you end and start a new piece of fiber.
Okay. All right. This is, I stuck it to the back. I just shoved it back there. And I cut it off. I've got about 4 inches, because later I'm going to push them through to the front and probably put some beads on them. Okay, so where this one goes down, I'm going to start a new fiber, and I will start, well, I really wanted to do, I will use this purple. Okay. I am just going to, where that one went down, I'm going to put this one, the tail of it, through there. I'm going to leave it hanging out the back. I'm going to hold it. Did I get it in the right place? Let's see. That's an over. Nope. I'm just going to put it, it's in the back. The tail's in the back. I'm going to come up through the next one and start going again. I'm just going to continue my pattern, and my 2 tails are back here. And I got stuff everywhere. I can't seem to turn anything over. My 2 tails are right here, Kathy. They're just stuck back here. Okay? And they're just loose. And when I weave around to the next spot, is that a good explanation, Lisa? They will stay in place after I go around a couple of times.
Yeah, you'll kind of lock them into place with your next pass.
Mm-hmm. See, when I pull this down, oh, I got a lot. There we go. With the next piece, they'll just kind of stay right where they are until I get done with the weaving. And then I'm going to bring them to the front, I think, and put little beads on them. I may cut them short, but I'm going to bring them to the front to do it. So they're just hanging out in the back right now. All the tails are just back here. Lisa's probably, you could see it better on because she didn't use anything fuzzy yet.
Yeah, they're just
the fuzzy stuff
and
makes
here's
it really
where this one is at the back, and I'm fixing to go past it now, like this. And after you do that a few times, it kind of stays locked in place. I don't know if that's helpful, but it's the best way I know to describe it.
And you do want to not get into you don't want to get yourself tangled up with your tails. So you want to kind of keep them in check. Make sure they stay down. Don't get tangled to your new piece.
And one of the best ways to do that is to keep this kind of in a little wad and move it around back here with your hand kind of over, keeping those out of the way.
That's right.
And you can do it, and then you can pull it to the center.
No, Brittany, they really don't need to be tied to stay in place right now. As long as you bring your next thread in line, as long as you pack it into the center a little bit, and Mina's right, you could have dangles on both sides if you want. But the tails, they kind of get told where to be by the next rounds of thread. If that makes any sense at all. And
well, if you just keep going, you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll watch it happen. But you just have to be careful not to pull it through. After you've gone around a couple of times, you really can't pull it through because of the going under and over weaving kind of locks it.
Right. And at this stage of the game, it's better to have a smaller little ball than it is to have giant or smaller pieces of thread than it is to have giant pieces of thread. It just makes your life easier.
Yep.
Okay, because see now I've got those caught into it. Get out of the way.
It's just basically going over and under, over and under, over and under, over and over and over.
All the way around. Yep.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of times. Now, see, I've let this unwind so much that it's causing issues. I don't know what this is, but boy, I like it.
Okay. That's what mine looks like right now.
Mine looks like a little nest in the middle and doesn't show very much color.
You need to put a little bird on it when you get through.
Ah, okay.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna work my way down this little deal.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Use up some of their little scrappies.
Yeah.
Is that something you put together yourself?
No, it's
Because
something I found at the thrift store, but it was just a little bit of a bunch of different kinds, but they all kind of go good together, you know.
yeah, we used to sell those when I worked in the fabric store for embellishments with the sergers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We used to sell packages like that. I probably have some around here somewhere.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. It got you.
Yeah.
I have to tell you what my hubby is outside. I think he's gone back outside. He was in having lunch. I heard him a few minutes ago. He's washing and waxing the motorhome.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's going to be a long chore. We were going to have it done while we were up there. In the past, on the old one, we had it done by somebody else because believe me, that's an exhausting chore because it has to be done by hand. They do not recommend you use any power tools or anything like that. And it was like we didn't want to wait, and we wanted to get home, and we would have had to wait midweek. And it sounds like we got out of there just in time. They have closed the service center. So apparently we chose well, I guess. But it was, it was a chore that he said, well, I guess I'm going to have lots of time anyway, so I guess I can do it. Okay. He did the roof before we left. You have to do the roof with something called 303. I don't know exactly what that is, but it's some kind of special sealer. It's kind of like using stuff a lot of people use on their cars. I can't remember what it is. There, see, mine is now got some purple around it.
Brittany, I'm pretty sure that'll work fine. Just if you can even use fabric or paper or whatever you want, as long as it's pliable enough to go over and under.
That's right. And I think it's just what the friendship bracelet kits and stuff came right. It's an embroidery cotton. It'll be fine. It's just not floss that splits, I don't think. It just all depends on where you got it as far as friendship bracelet stuff came from. Okay, so I've got a kind of a nice layer of purple going around there. I want it to show just a little bit more, so I'm going to go just a couple more times around.
And if you ever mess up, you'll know it because suddenly you'll be going under something you went under last time.
That's right.
And then you'll know that
it's supposed to have an under-over kind of thing where they all sort of come together.
And if that happens, you have two options. You can take it back out and figure out where you messed up and fix it. Or you can just say, okay, and keep going. And the next round, it'll fix itself.
That's what I would do. Mm-hmm.
I would just like this. that's really not that hard to do because it kind of blends itself in anyway. It's not like you really see your warp threads.
Yeah.
So,
That's-
so it won't hurt anything if you do that. Okay.
Now this one was already under there, so I just picked up the needle. I'm just wanted to use the rest of this up.
And if you keep your you're probably already doing this, but if you keep your other hand under there, you can just push it back up the other, with
Yes.
your hand
And
that's down there, and that makes it faster.
Especially if you're using a ball.
Yeah. If you're using the needle, it's not really helpful.
I've got the needle now right the second, so it's just easier to go sort of up and down the way I was. But see, now I have used up that little bit that I had on my needle, and I'm going to just start with something different. And this is some really weird thread. I got this at an estate sale ages ago. Okay. It has these funny loops in. Isn't it strange? It has a straight piece, and then it has loops.
It's like
just every so often.
Boucle.
Yes, and so it's just odd, but it was the right colors, and so that's what I'm going to go with for the next little round. Now it's quite a big ball. I may have to cut some off here in a few minutes because I'm getting tight on one side. Okay.
I think I'm going to turn around and go. I thought I was just going to go straight through this, but I think I want this ribbon next. So
a different piece.
Instead of that green fuzzy stuff, I'm going to do it later, I think, after the ribbon, maybe.
Okay. I can't wait to see what the little lumpies are going to do in this. I really want
that'll be fun.
I want to get to one of those and see what happens. Is everybody else doing okay? I'm not really paying attention. I'm sorry.
I think going in a circle, the magazine paper would be really difficult.
Yeah, it would work easier on a straight piece, but it's hard. Hi, Bar. Yeah, if you put your thread on a needle, if it's embroidery thread, putting it on a needle might help, or just winding a tiny little ball. It's hard telling what's easier. But yeah, I mean, Brittany, there's only one way to find out if it works, and that is to try it.
There you go.
So, and what's the worst that can happen?
It doesn't work and you do something else. Okay. Not a biggie.
Okay, so we're to our little loops now. And I'm kind of pushing them to the top.
Oh, I like that. I think that's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Hi, Elizabeth. I'm glad you decided to let us know you're here. We don't mind you lurking, but it's nice to know you're here.
Mm-hmm. So this was the mystery, that it was a weaving in the middle of your piece. I have been playing with some weaving, just not on camera, but just playing with some different weaving things. And it was so funny. I asked Lisa, I said, if I decided to do something for March that I didn't tell you what it was, and it was a mystery even to you, and she said, sounds like fun, let's do it. Well, and then, okay, so here I am. I had this, I didn't tell her, and then she's circle weaving with the embroidery hoops that I'm going, dang, she must have just channeled my brain. Or I channeled her brain. I'm not sure which it was. But you know me in cardboard too. I really wanted to do this in, with cardboard. And oh, look at this. Isn't that fun? What's really interesting is it's only enough to go around one side. So I think what I'm going to try to do is go far enough that I have it on the other side too, but we'll find out because it might not come up on the other side.
Yeah, you never know.
And you can definitely tell that this is off center a little bit. Okay, so because it's off center a little bit, when I get around some more, I may have to do some extra pieces in there, which I'm not worried about. I have an idea for what to do for them.
Like a God's eye, and it is similar. We just have a lot more spokes.
Yes, yes. I was going to say with a God's eye, there's only 4 spokes, right?
Yeah, at least the ones I made when I was a kid, that's what there was.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow, that's got a lot in there before I can get to the next set of loops.
I wonder if you went back and forth a little bit right on that one side.
That's kind of my plan. But I think what I'm going to yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Or do I want to? Okay. So what I think, instead of, I'm going to go, let's see, down and up with this one more time. But I also told you you could use fabric. Okay. Now this piece of fabric does not really, it's just got the right colors. I'm going to take this piece off because I don't like all that white. Okay. Now I'm going to make it into a little strip. What I'm going to do, because this side, right, see, it's only about, let me find my ruler. Okay. So right here, I'm about 1.25 inches from the edge, but over here, I'm 1.75 inches from the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll this piece of fabric up a little bit. And I'm going to go under and over just like the yarn. So I got a piece of fabric and I got another little piece of fabric and I'm going to go over and under and over just like the yarn, only opposite of the last one. Come on, just roll up. I don't want your backside showing. Okay, then I'm just going to squish it in there. Come on now. Stick, stick, stick. It's wanting to pop to the top because it's a real short piece of fabric. But I'm just going to squish it. I only put it on the side that's too long. And now I'm going to take this yarn and under and over it. Okay, where did I end? I ended over there. Okay. I'm going to use the yarn to hold the fabric in. That's what I'm trying to explain. I'm not making any sense.
That makes sense to me.
Okay. Well, that's because you weave. But I didn't mean to make it complicated, guys. But I'm just going to continue my pattern with my yarn. It's got to come back up. And I'm just pushing the tails of the fabric to the back because the yarn there again will hold it in later. But I am going to kind of pull the yarn so that it squashes the fabric kind of in there.
I think I'm going to wait till I get to the end and put my fabric wherever I have the empty space at the end and just fill it in on that side with some fabric.
Okay.
Because you could centered either, so
yeah, you could fill it in with yarn. You don't have to use fabric. It's just
you could fill it in with lace. You could fill it in with whatever you want.
But Brittany, if you try paper, I would really like to know how the paper works.
Tanya.
Uh-oh.
Barb, it says Barb Filion asks, can you double back instead?
Yep. You can. This is free form. Be careful when you double back and forth. Lisa, wouldn't you say that only do it a couple of times before you go all the way around again?
I think that would probably be better, but because it's not going to have any real wear and tear on it, you could probably do more. But when you do, if you do more than that, you'll end up with kind of a hole in the places where you're doubling back.
Right.
So it just depends. If you like that look, then you can do it as long as you want. But if you want it to look solid, you probably don't want to do more than a couple.
Right. And you can just weave on like 3 of them back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and do spokes out. So, you know, there's so much you can do that it's but yes, you can double back and you can go back and forth different places. You can put a thick yarn in on one side and a thinner yarn in on the other side.
Whatever your little imagination can come up with,
Mm-hmm.
you can probably do it if you can get it to go over and under.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Now, right now, the fabric's kind of messy on the back side. See, it's just kind of, I got all this mess back here. Okay, but the more I do, and these are all going to go to the front and have some little beads put on them, probably. The more I go around, the less this fabric will, it'll be tighter and tighter each time. So it will bring the fabric in and snug it in and lock it in. And I think I'm about to get to my other set of loops, which is really what I wanted to do. If you weren't in Lisa's live stream last night, Lisa announced that she and I are going to try to stream every Tuesday. We'll be going back and forth between channels. Next Tuesday, we're going to glue stuff. We're just going to glue stuff. We're either make a master board or glue in a glue book, whatever you would like to glue. We're just going to glue stuff. That's next Tuesday at noon, and it excuse me, it'll be here on my channel. Then the following Tuesday, we're going to start on our April book, and Lisa's going to post a video about that.
Yes, I'm going to post a video this week sometime about that.
Yeah, and you'll have the stuff for it. Don't worry. It's not going to be a big don't have stuff things. I meant for you to get the loops on the opposite side. Oh, yes, Barb. Yes. I could go back and forth, but I kind of decided I'm happy with them the way they are. They ended up on the same side as the other one, so I'm going to leave it. I kind of like it. See how it's looking? So, you know, I'm happy because the black offsets it. I think I'll bring my beads up kind of like right in here in the fabric area. Yes, you could add beads as you go. You could have added beads to your warp threads. I cannot think or talk today for some reason. I'm going to stop with this yarn though. I think I've decided. Get something else. I have some other things. Okay, why is it tied up in a knot? It definitely is tied up in a little knot.
My allergies are just driving me crazy.
Oh, mine are awful. I've had a headache for 3 days. But it's yellow here. It is so yellow. That's what Jeff said. He had to wash and wax a spot at a time because by the time he washed the whole motorhome, it would be just yellow tomorrow. So
yeah.
Okay, there we go. But yes, Barb, I could have gone back and forth so that I could get the loops on the other side. I kind of like them like that. And I may put more of that yarn in later and put loops elsewhere, which might be cool too.
If you have something that you're putting in and when you pull on it, it tries to go on top of your other stuff, it's like at this point, you can just leave it loose. It doesn't have to be really tied.
Right.
And so that it'll stay in place where you want it. You're not making a piece of fabric. So some of the rules to weaving that you worry about when you're doing that don't apply when you're just doing this. So,
okay.
Which is why we're saying yes to almost everything you ask.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about it. Lisa, Barb is asking about that thread you're using right now. Can you show it to me a little better?
It's a ladder yarn or something like that.
I was going to say, it's a yarn, Barb. It might be hard to find now. For a while, you could find that yarn everywhere because they actually sort of knit between the little threads, and I have no idea the name of it. I just know that it's not new.
Yeah, I want to say they called it something ladder something, but I don't know that for a fact. But it does like to tangle up.
Oh, yeah, because it's rayon.
Yeah.
Barb said she hasn't been able to find any. Are you talking about that kind of yarn?
Yeah, I just happened to get lucky, and this was in with the other stuff I got.
Ah, okay. It's actually really light blue, Kathy. It's not white. It's just it's real light blue. But yeah, I liked it as a very good contrast to everything else. Okay, let's see what we got. What are we going to use next? I think we're going to do a little bit of this lime green. Okay, where did I finish? Right there.
Come in.
Does she have pretties to show us?
No, she just needs a hug.
Oh, good. Okay.
She's been outside getting some vitamin D.
Aha.
That's the excuse we're giving her wandering around outside.
At least I finally have one. Yeah, I was going to say.
At least you finally have an excuse for doing it. So
yeah. Well, I told my mom she needed to go outside yesterday.
Yeah, I was talking to Mom this morning, and she said, I said something about, Hannah. She just put on shorts and a tank top and went out and laid out and read a book, out on a sheet in the yard. And Mom said, "Oh, good for her. That's what she needs to do. Get that vitamin D."
Yep.
I remember when I was a kid and if I was sick, Mom would always say, "Okay, you need to go sit out on the back porch and get some sun." So, okay.
Well,
and now, they say that, but at the time, people weren't saying that. They were saying, "Stay out of the sun,"
Stay out of the sun. Stay out of the sun. Use sunscreen.
Yeah.
About 8 or 10 years ago, we had a PA we saw instead of a doctor. The clinic, the PA we saw was fabulous. She was just amazing. I trusted her as much as any doctor. Anyways, she told I had blood work and stuff done, because I'm old. And I'd had this blood work done, and she said, "Okay, I'm going to tell you something, and you're going to freak out." She said, "I want you to quit using sunscreen." She said, "I don't want you to get sunburned, so use sunscreen when you're going to have to be out for a terrible long time. But if you're going out to mow the lawn at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, quit using sunscreen." I'm like, okay. Yeah. But my vitamin D level, I don't remember what it's supposed to be, but it was like 3. I think it's supposed to be like 20 something, and it was 3. So I actually was on prescription vitamin D for almost 3 years. Every 6 months I had to have a new prescription. I'd take it for so many days and whatnot, and then 5,000 units in between, not every day.
Yeah.
So, but I really have quit using sunscreen for the most part.
Yeah, I haven't used it in a long time just because of all the toxic junk that's in it.
Yeah.
But I don't stay outside, for hours either.
Yeah.
I go out and go for a walk or whatever, and it's an hour, hour and a half, and I come back in,
When we did,
I'm not at the beach all day or something.
Yeah, when we did art shows and stuff, I would slather up to go mow the lawn. And, she said, you're not going out till 4:00 in the afternoon. Quit using sunscreen. Yeah. Dogs are finally getting the walks in. Group hug for Hannah. Yep. Yeah, Barb, I really don't know what it's called. I'm sorry I'm not better, and I'm afraid it has not been around for a while. It's something that was pretty prevalent for a while, but then it kind of disappeared. Okay. Now then, when I put this yarn in, I did kind of snug everything because I wanted to snug that fabric into there.
Right.
I kind of pulled
close to the screen so we can see. Oh, I like that. I like all the texture.
Yeah, I'm going to go with some more of this in a little bit, this soft fuzzies, because I really like that, and it needs to have some, but I wanted to get a nice sturdy layer holding that fabric in.
Yeah. So I like all the texture. I'm trying to think what I've got that I could add some more texture in. I'm using this because these colors go with the papers.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And my papers are all kind of Eastery. So
I kind of pulled fibers for that purpose, because of that idea. So, okay. But I think we need some more of this. And this, of course, is a lot of the texture of it is on the back side, which is cool. Right now, the back side looks like a mess, but that's all right, too. I wonder, I want to try this other yarn. I have this eyelash yarn that has the same kind of colors in it. I want to see what it does when we weave with it. Blah, blah, blah. Can't talk. Even this stuff is kind of hard to find these days.
Yeah, it's a real, the fads come and go.
Yes. And I love this stuff because I love sewing it onto the edges of paper. And that's one of the things I had thought I might do some of in this journal. Haven't done it, but
you might.
I might. Yes, I might. I'm going to have to cut a piece off of it, though, I'm afraid, because shoving that ball through there is not going to happen. Hi, Cheryl. Am I going to cover the back side? No, Barb, I don't intend to. Now, that's up to you, and what Lisa wants to do with hers is fine, whatever. But I don't intend to cover the back side. I intend to leave the back side there. I will clean it up, and I'm going to push the tails to the front. So and I'm going to put beads on the tails, and then I'm going to cut them off is what I have decided. Lisa, what are you going to do with yours?
I haven't decided yet. I'm going to see what it looks like when I get finished. I'm not going to cover up the back for sure.
Yeah.
I'll either leave it just with the things cut short to make them kind of fuzzy.
Uh-huh.
Or
well, yeah, I might do that too.
where I
That's
might
okay.
put beads. You know, I don't know. Or I might
Yeah.
pull one through to the front and put a bead on it, or 2 or 3 in different places, and then leave the rest fuzzy on the back. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and see, the fuzzies are going to show on the back with some of this textured stuff that I'm doing. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I think
this
I'm just
stuff is fun.
tired of working with that one. I'm gonna cut it off.
That I had to cut a chunk of this off. It was going to be too much hassle to try to get it to the whole ball to go up and down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've done all of those, so now I need to find something else to use.
Oh, you used them all up?
Well, I used all of them once. I've got a
Uh-huh.
little bit left, but
Okay.
but I've done all of the color. All I think there's 6 of them. So.
Now, what's interesting with this eyelash is I think a lot of it is on the back. It's funny, but it went more to the back than it did to the front.
I'm going to add some of this in because it's dark.
Oh, that'll be pretty. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know that I need that much. And I may do, later some of this one. This green.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty too. Yep. Now, I have to show you that I put quite a bit of that lime green worsted weight stuff in there.
Uh-huh.
It barely shows.
Yeah. Wow.
Because
Yours
all of
looks
this
like a flower.
Yeah, it's kind of everything I do turns into flowers.
Flowers
Everything.
are good.
Yes, flowers are good. But it's amazing to me that they all turn into flowers. Susan says you can get all of those yarns on Amazon.
There you go.
So,
thank you.
Susan, do you know what the name of that one that Lisa was using is that looks like a ladder? Do you know what to call it or who it might come from? Suzanne, not Susan. I'm going to use some more of this. I want to lock in my fuzzy yarn, so I'm going to use some more of this crochet cotton.
Ah, good idea.
Because it's going to end up underneath there anyways. It's going to hide. Suzanne's going to look for you, Barb. Barb, are you still here?
Uh-oh.
How's everybody doing with their weaving? I heard a oh, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was pulling something back out that I didn't intend to pull back out when I was trying to go past it.
Okay.
My tail for the last one.
Okay, now I gotta figure out where I ended. All right, right there.
Sorry, I was
That's okay.
out of frame, I think.
Oh, this is one of those things, guys, where I can't watch chat and do it at the same time.
Exactly.
So I do apologize in advance. Called ladder yarn, and there's a bunch of it. Suzanne says there's a bunch of that ladder yarn on. Okay, Barb.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. Oops. Okay, what's that tail doing there? There we go.
Okay, I think that I'm going to stop right here with this.
Okay.
And see if I can find like some lace.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay, somehow I have something messed up here. There we go, I think.
I may be going to weave in just a bunch of bits of lace in between things.
Oh, that'll be cool. This eyelash stuff is really weird. It's giving me a funny, weird texture stuff to it, which is fine. I don't care, but oh, okay. There's 4 pages, all different widths, Suzanne says. It's a little cool and breezy, Holly, in Arizona. There's pages of the loop yarn. Cool. Oh, that's cool, Lisa.
Yeah, I thought there's just little bits of it that have the pom-poms, and some of the pom-poms are gone.
Uh-huh.
So I thought it would be fun just to put those little bits in there.
Yep.
But it might also be cool to just cut off these bits and just use that strip.
Well, when you squish it, it's probably going to
or I may just
down.
Do that and let them
be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like 85 here. It's supposed to be 90, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is here. It's supposed to be in the 70s, though. It's a nice day out. Whatever the temperature is, it's nice out.
Well, it was really nice this morning, but then it's gotten a little warm this afternoon. Okay. I want to do this.
Somebody must have just wanted those little pom-poms for something. This is something that came, you know, in a bag of stuff at the thrift store.
Yep. They just wanted them for something. Okay, so
Probably
I got to, for what?
Probably bunny tails or something like that.
Oh, that would be a good thing to use pom-poms for, wouldn't it?
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and put this one in next and see. Okay. I'm going to just tuck it to the back right here. Oh, this is not going to be easy to get through those, though. I wasn't thinking about that with those pom-poms on there.
No, you're going to have to do it flat.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to cut it right before the pom-poms and see what it looks like just putting this around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if it'll go all, if this piece is long enough to go all the way around or not.
How's everybody doing? Mary said she was going to put a silver star in the middle of hers.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of mash that up, and then we'll
that fabric hardly even shows in there now. This takes more yarn than I expected it to, though. It also takes more time than I expected it to, honestly.
Yeah.
Of course, if you didn't change and you used flat yarn, it had been done already.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, if we didn't do it all funky and fun, it would be all done already. If it was flat and all the same yarn. Oh, I do like how this is coming right now. And I don't know, I may just trim those off in the back and leave them be, because I'm really liking what the front looks like. And if I want to put beads in, I could sew some beads into it.
Okay, there's what it looks like right now.
Oh, that's kind of cool. It's got a lot of texture because of that stuff being flat and not, you know, round.
Yeah. Okay.
This really looks kind of like a bird's nest at the moment.
Thing I was thinking about using. It's a real tiny crocheted or tatted, I'm not sure which, trim.
Trim.
but I'm afraid it will totally just get lost in there, and so that'll be kind of wasting it. So I think I'm going to do with some of this. No, I'm going to use a yarn of some kind to kind of lock this lace in place, and then see kind of how much space I've got left. What do I want to use? Oh.
That's it, Mina. More texture and variation of textures. That's kind of the thing I wanted to do with this. I wanted you to use more fibers this year. That was one of my goals in the things I did this year, was to use more fibers. It's not like I don't have them. And so, okay, come on. Where's the tail? My little ball unrolled here. And all this texture is just a lot of fun.
That would work, Janet. That would work.
What did she say?
Can I glue the little black lace around the outside of the circle?
Oh, yeah. That would work. That would work real well.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna start right there.
I decided I'm going to go until this piece of thread runs out.
There you go.
And it's so thin that it's not filling up the hole very well. Woo. I was like, okay, how many millions of times do I have to go around this circle with this piece of thread? Oh, yeah, that would be a really good thing to do with broken chains from old necklaces. That would be really cool, Brittany.
That would be fun.
Uh-huh. Ball chain, like from fan poles, that kind of chain. That would be very steampunkish too if you did a whole bunch of different chains.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Now you'd want some pretty sturdy warp thread. I might use wax linen. If I was
you might want to reinforce your holes too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But it would be really cool.
It would be really cool. Mm-hmm. And it would be, would be really cool on corrugated cardboard that you left brown with the, distressed corrugated cardboard.
Yeah, and just leave the cardboard behind it, or.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Which would support it.
Yep. That's my tail. I'm about to finally use this whole piece of thread up. But I have quite the fuzzy pile back here. It is definitely going to be fuzzy back here. And I honestly think I may just trim these off because of all the fuzz. We'll see how it looks when I get done. But okay, where am I at? I'm under. I have about 12 more inches of this particular thread. Which means 72 million times more around this circle. You did say Ethan is no longer going to work, right?
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
they're doing some really cool things. They're doing story time for the kids on Facebook Live.
Uh-huh.
The children's librarians they put on plays and stuff for the kids quite often, so they're doing that on Facebook Live.
That's cool.
And then they're also offering where you call and tell them, you can look online and see what books are available, and you can either order them online, put a hold on them, or call them. And then when you have to give them at least 2 hours notice, and then you come and they will call them and tell them you're there, and they'll bring them out to you and pick up your other books, and then they take the books in and sterilize them. And but the full-time employees are doing that, and they gave the part-time workers the option to work or stay home, and Ethan chose to stay home. So
I don't know that our library is doing anything like that. I imagine they are, but I haven't seen it, and I haven't looked because it's been one of those things that I haven't really
worry about.
Right. Well, I got Mom a lot of books at the book sale last time, so she's covered reading material wise.
Yeah.
And I have enough books. I have not gotten to read a lot lately, so I have enough for what I need. And okay. Jeff doesn't read, so
he has enough.
Yeah, he has more than enough. Jeff hates to read. It's really terrible. I hate to say that, but he really does not like to read. His family never read for fun. My family, we grew up reading for fun. And he reads when he needs to learn something or wants to know something. And I mean, but he doesn't enjoy it as a hobby. And definitely does not enjoy fiction. And see, when you put the next layer in, you lose a lot of the fuzzy. So you have to kind of bring the fuzzy back to the top with this one.
Yeah.
Which is not hard to do, but
you just have to.
When I get all done, I'll probably comb it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Fuzzy Wuzzy works. Yeah, I didn't use wax linen, Brittany, because I knew I was going to use these fuzzy yarns, and wax linen will grab hold of all these fuzzy yarns.
Oh, wouldn't that be a headache?
Yes. Mina says that yours looks like an emerging galaxy.
There we go. I like that.
Hi, Fran. We're weaving in a circle in a hole in our journal on our cover. We put that hole in our cover and we put some threads into it, and now we're weaving to fill up the hole. We're doing a circular weaving. And I'm sorry I keep turning it around, guys, but it's just hard to get. When you start to get towards the edge, you kind of have to move things around so you can get your fibers in and out. At least I'm having to. Lisa might not be having that problem, but okay, did I miss one? No. We're so quiet.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I really like the loopy yarn. I really like this fuzzy yarn. I'm not so keen on the actual eyelash stuff. It, you know, a lot of it's on the back. It just didn't really come to the front for some reason.
Yeah.
And, all right, what's going on here? All right. Well, buggers. Excuse me. Apparently I missed something somewhere, so we'll just have to wing it. Okay. Be more careful. Slow down. I must have missed a leg somewhere because I had two overs instead of an over and an under. Which you'd think at this stage of the game it wouldn't be happening, but apparently it did.
It's easier because it's harder to the frogs not being as close together make you feel like you've already done that when you haven't.
Well, and I've also got all this fuzzy stuff, so it's getting a little hard to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And see, at this stage of the game, this yarn's not showing at all. It's just holding in the fuzzy stuff, which is cool with me. I'm perfectly content with that. A bump on a log on a hole in the bottom of the sea. I remember that, but I can't remember why I remember it, but I do remember it.
It's a song.
That's what
There's
Holly
a hole.
said.
There's a hole in the bottom of the sea.
Okay.
There's a log. There's a log. I don't know it all, but it's something like that.
Okay.
There's a log in the hole, and then it goes on, and you end up with a fly on the frog and the bog and the.
Okay. One of those things I don't don't remember because my son is too old.
Yeah.
And I only had one kid. So, you know, he went past that stage really fast.
Yeah.
That and my kid, there were certain things he did not like. He did not like Sesame Street at all. He thought that was the most repetitive, boring show he'd ever seen. He just couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yep.
My kids didn't watch Sesame Street very much either, but
No, I wouldn't
like
have thought.
things like Dora the Explorer and what is that thing? Anyway, all the things where they were all teaching shows, but they were just more fast actiony, I guess.
Yeah.
But in with all of that, he also loved Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh,
Which
Brandon
more
really
slow
liked Thomas. Brandon liked Thomas. But Dora the Explorer came a little after Brandon, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't remember him watching that one.
I'm trying to think of that math show where they go inside the computer. They really liked that.
Okay, I don't remember that one.
It had really weird art.
Okay. Well, I may have to look this
because of that, but
I may have to look this up, but because that sounds like a fun show.
I can't remember.
When you get to the outside pieces, it starts wanting to pull a little strange. You got to be careful and don't pull too tight because your weft threads need to be longer so that you're not sliding under your other threads. Just FYI. Don't pull too hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is easy to pull too hard, especially if you've been pulling, from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's one thing about putting all these weird kinds of things in there. You get more used to leaving it looser,
Yeah, it fills up the holes. It's just. I was just going to go round and round with this purple one until I ran out. And, maybe I'll save a little. Because maybe I'll put that around the very edge. So let's cut this loose. I'll save that little piece because I want to use some more of this. Thomas the Train gave her nightmares. Poor Mina. I'm sorry, Mina. That's not funny, but it is kind of cute. Yeah, Jeffrey brought Thomas home, and therefore we had to have, an awful lot of Brio Train. That is one of the toys I kept.
Yeah, we have our trains too.
Yeah, we have the Brio trains and Thomas, and Brandon was a builder. He built tons and tons of things, but the train, okay, it can get really hot here. I mean, really hot and humid, and they will tell you not to send your kids outside. Don't send your kids outside. It's too hot. It's too hot. And, he was an only child, so the poor thing had nobody to play with. And he would build these elaborate train lines, and they would go down the hall and around his bedroom and come out and go under the dining room table. And I am really easy with that stuff. I don't care. It can stay there for days and days and days as long as I can get to my refrigerator and my stove and whatnot. And so Jeff would come home and Yeah, just, okay, so I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I just have to remember to step over before I go.
Yeah.
And he would build these elaborate things, and they would stay up for days, and he would play with them for days. It wasn't that he would go on and be doing something else. He was actually playing with them. And so it was fun. We also had spider webs. We had a lot of spiders at our house. He would take curling ribbon, and that curling ribbon would end up tied to the refrigerator door, and stuff like that. I mean, it would be all over the house.
Spider webs, huh?
Yep, giant spider webs. Kind of like the laser beams for
right.
Security, and you had to step around them and under them and over them. Like, okay, kiddo, I can't open my refrigerator. This one has to go. But I went through a lot of curling ribbon that way. After Christmas, I would buy rolls and rolls of curling ribbon.
Well, we would have definitely had that going on at our house if my kids had thought of it. We built anything you could build out of a cardboard box.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Well, and my dad loved to buy Connects and Legos. So Brandon has all of the very large Connect and Lego sets. I mean, I have boxes of those things. The Brio trains and the Legos and Connects I kept. Those are the things. Most of the rest of it, I have a box of books because, there were certain books that we read over and over and over. If I ever have to read The Cat in the Hat Comes Back Again, I may lose my mind. But
find a new favorite book for your grandchild if you ever have one.
Oh, yes, that will have to be it because
you would really like this one. I got tired of Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. That was Hannah's. Oh, she loved that book. And I had to read Chicka Chicka Boom Boom over and over and over and over and over and over. What happened?
I'm sorry. Faye is here.
Faye.
Hello, Faye. I'm sorry. I just stopped to read. I stopped to read chat. Yeah.
Those do sound good.
Yeah, Chicka Chicka Boom Boom is not one that Brandon read a bunch of, but we also have Curious Little Kitten. They were a golden book.
Yeah.
And we have several of those because that was another favorite. But the Cat in the Hat, it wasn't the Cat in the Hat. It was the Cat in the Hat Comes Back. I think it was the Pink Snow that did it. And I never want to see Bambi in my life again. I never want to see Bambi again. I really don't. For a while there, that was the only thing he wanted to watch on television. I will tell you, I came home. We were staying with my mom, living with my mom and dad for just a little bit. We had moved back from Texas, and Jeff was working in Crestview. So we were here, and our house had to have the house we bought had to be painted and be cleaned. It unfortunately had cigarette smoke in it, and I won't ever buy another house like that. But I didn't know then what I know now. Anyways, we were cleaning and painting, and we were living with mom and dad. I think we lived with them 3 or 4 months. I can't remember. But I came home one day, and I said, "Where's Brandon?" And my mom said, "Was out in the backyard eating dirt." I said, "Oh, okay." So I come to the window, and I look. He's sticking his finger in the sand, and there'd be a mountain of sand on there, and he'd put it in his mouth and eat it. And I said, "Oh, roughage and I went to get a shower. My mom was like laughing at me so hard. She said, I figured you were going to have a freak out. I said, why? He's just eating dirt. It's like, okay. I said, you let him do it. It's like,
As long as it's not bugs, we're good.
yeah. Well, bugs are edible, so most of them at least. Yeah, as long as he's not eating roaches or something nasty, but cat not carving. Okay,
Hey, Mary, glad you're back. Shelly, I missed you when you came in. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Kathy. I think I said hi to you, but I'm not sure.
I don't think I said hi to Kathy. Anyways, guys, hello to everybody. Sorry.
We're glad you're all here. We're just kind of.
I guess we're kind of I don't know, sleeping.
So, no, we're not sleeping. Working on a project here.
Yeah, it's one of those things that does require attention. And I'm having to wear my glasses, so the glasses do make it where I can't see the computer very well.
I'm at the point where I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get this butterfly here to go through, but I really want to put this pink on the outside edge. It's got sparkly in it.
Oh, that's pretty. This has got a lot of fuzzies on it. I think when I get done with this piece, I am going to just finish out the edge with the turquoise with a needle, because that way I can get it to go through better.
Yeah, well, I probably should be using a needle right now, but mine so far is squishing up and letting me put this.
And letting you do it.
I'll say that, and then it'll probably quit since I.
Probably. Now, by the way, guys, I intend to leave this journal kind of naked. As far as pages go, I don't tend to decorate it to Never Never Land. The weaving on the front and sewing the pages in is really all I intended for it. I don't tend to make a lot of tags or. Now, that doesn't mean you can't. It just means that I didn't intend to.
Have you got an idea of what you're going to use it for, or are you just making it?
I'm just making it. You know me. So, I thought I might take some of the fibers and staple little fiber clusters to the page and make some little tabs, but that's about the sum total of it. Okay, come on up top. There you go. Okay. I'm finding it easier at this stage of the game not to stick my hand down below. To just go around the edge with my little bit of what I've got left here.
Yeah.
You do want to use, I think, something that is, what shall I call it? Non-fancy. I think around the very outside, the last, whatever you make the last row. Don't you think, to make it make whatever you did last stay in?
Well, this that I'm using, it's sparkly and stuff, but it's wool yarn.
So
wool yarn, so I think it'll work fine.
It'll stay in pretty well. Yeah, this probably won't. I'm probably going to have to do something to finish this up. And I'm thinking the turquoise is what I'm sort of planning. Oh, come on. The stuff underneath is getting... Oh, yeah. I'm happy. It's coming out good. Or at least it's coming out the way I had hoped.
Well, I hadn't made any definite plans.
Well, yeah, since I didn't tell you what you were going to do. What are you going to do with your hoop?
Oh,
The piece-
right now it's just sitting there. I don't know
Okay.
that I'll do anything with it.
All right.
It was just an example to show people.
Okay. Tents and forts. Yes, tents and forts. Blanket forts were a big thing. Yeah.
We built ships and castles and everything you can imagine out of giant cardboard boxes. If we could find, big boxes, rockets, and we even built us school buses out of
Oh yeah.
out of them because when Ethan found out he wasn't going to school, that he was going to homeschool, he said the only thing that upset him about that was the fact that he wouldn't get to ride the school bus. And I
So
told
you
him,
built him
well,
a school.
you wouldn't get to ride the school bus anyway because we live 6 blocks from the school. He said,
Yeah.
well, can we make one? I said, yes. He said, okay. So we made school buses, and Hannah was like 2, and she had a little school bus because she had to have one too,
Yeah.
and she was walking, but not very much. She had a hard time walking in her school bus, but they walked the sidewalk to Grandma's and back to go to school that first day.
Go to school. How fun.
That was the first day of kindergarten. Everything we did before that wasn't school,
Yeah.
So. Okay. I think I am going to call this done. I haven't packed it, but
well, it's hard to pack when you get to the outside edges because it does not really. It's wanting to pack in there, and then it's just kind of.
I'm just doing one extra layer around for the sides that are, it was off uneven. So it wasn't in the center, so.
Yeah, it's going to be uneven, and I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, she's all done. That's cool looking, Lisa.
And now I just got the fuzzies on the back. This one I'm going to go ahead and I think tie around another piece of yarn to.
Okay, why don't you make yourself big and show them that, because that's a concern that everybody was having.
Okay, let me pull this down and. Okay, I've got this piece of, boy, my colors are really washed out.
Mine are today too, for some reason.
I've got this piece right here, and I'm just going to take it and go around that, whatever was next to it, and pull it through. And then I'm going to do it again. So that it kind of makes a knot. And then I'm just going to let that be the end right there. Okay. And I think I am just going to cut these all off and let them just be here.
Okay.
I don't think I want to worry with beads and all that stuff.
I think that's what I'm going to do too, because I don't think I want all the beads on the front because of having all the fuzzies.
Yeah. So there's what the back of mine looks like. It's just got some fuzzies.
Well, I still have a big, like half an inch space in mine, so it's going to take me a while to finish.
All right.
So you wanna leave yourself big. Here, you can put it back on me for a second, and I'll show you where I'm at. But then I was going to say, while you sew your signatures in, why don't you leave yourself big, so if I don't get my signature sewn in today, everybody can see it's just, I got quite a bit of space out here. And I may leave some of it, but I'm going to have to fill some of it in.
Yeah.
So, it's going to take me a little while to get that done. But this is kind of what it's going to look like. I love how it looks. It's just taking a while. So, but what I was thinking is if you made yourself big while you sewed your signatures in so that they could see how to do that. Because I'm just going to sew my signatures in pamphlet style. That's what I was going to do anyways.
Yeah. I think I am going to go ahead and glue this.
Okay, put your picture back on.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm going to go ahead and glue this around.
Oh, that'll be cool. Mm-hmm.
So let's get an approximation of how much I need, because I don't want to have to mess with this whole thing.
Whole card, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to just cut off this much. I can trim it when I get ready.
Uh-huh.
Oh, thank y'all. Oh, Fran's leg went to sleep. Get up and walk around, Fran.
Yeah, we made her sit here too long.
Okay, let's start. I don't know. Let's start right here. That way, maybe the beads can cover up where it meets.
Uh-huh. Wise decision. Okay, what did you do, Tanya? Oh, you did it again. What are you doing here?
This is narrow enough. It's going around pretty good. I was kind of worried how it would do in a circle, but it's narrow enough. It's working out pretty good. Thank you for that idea, Janet.
Yeah, because I think it's cute on there like that.
Okay, and then when I put some beads on this, it'll be good. I'm gonna let that just sit a minute before I start trying to do my my signature. So I'm going to go back.
Okay. I am doing a kind of a back and forth a little bit on this one side because it's so much further away from the edge than the other side was. So I'm just kind of bringing it in and out a little bit until. And part of that is I get to pulling it up a little snug, and at this particular point in time, I shouldn't be pulling on it.
Yeah, that's true.
When you get to the outside,
it's hard to not pull on it.
Yeah, it is. It is very hard to not pull on it. When you get to the outside edges, that starts to happen. So, but it will also put some of my little loops over here, like Barb was talking about earlier.
Uh-huh.
So, which was not happening, most of the loops are on the other side. So
I think you need a bird in that nest.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go find a bird now. Yeah,
I think
actually I could make a bird, but I haven't made a bead since I got home. I've been such a bad girl.
Make you a pretty bird bead. That would be fun.
I used to make birds and fishes, and I like my little fish better than my birds, but that's just
Well, it could be a little fish in a
in a seaweed
know,
patch.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be cute too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I have enough to go around one more time, or 2 more times, or 3 more times, or something like that. I just know I have way too much hole here, which, you know, it's just like, okay, I'm ready to be done now. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need a break.
Just relax. I'll go and start working on my signatures a little bit.
Oh, okay. No, I just need to have a little break.
So
that
what I'm
is
going to
one thing.
do is make marks down the center of my spine
Okay.
because I've got 3 signatures. So I'm going to make my marks in the center, and then I'll do some on each side of them too.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay.
You might want to back out just a little bit, Lisa.
Oh, I
There you go.
forgot how close that was. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm just, you know, thinking.
Yeah, you were right. Okay, I'm going to make my
That
center.
would be unusual.
I'm just going to poke a hole there. There we go. That'll work.
There you go. Just poke a hole. That's what we need is a hole. Isn't it nice to have cardboard that you can poke a hole in? I do like using corrugated cardboard. It's fun.
And that wasn't exactly center either. So I messed up there.
Uh-oh.
Now to decide what to do. I poked my holes out beside it, not right at my edge.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that was not a good plan. Okay, let's see See, I got a perfect for 2 signatures, but okay. I'm not sure what to do here.
Okay, let me see.
They didn't go all the way through. I just punctured through the top. So I think I'm just
Well,
gonna.
and they'll be hidden. So what you need to do though is to do something so that you know that those are not the right holes.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make a new one above and below these, I think.
Okay. There you go. Hubby must be done waxing for the day. I heard keys and
Okay.
you done for
So
the
that's
day?
what I did.
Sun moved too quick. It's too hot to wax.
Oh yeah, I would think so.
So I'm going to do that side in the morning.
Okay. But you got one side washed?
I got it washed and partly waxed, but it's getting too hot for the wax to. The wax is setting up too quick
Yeah.
to do any good.
You'll have to get out there pretty early tomorrow. Okay. I don't know if you all could hear it. He says that the sun got on it, so he can't wax it because the sun's too hot. So That says remeasure.
Okay.
Mary, it's the fact that it's got a weaving in the middle of it. That's the mystery. Kathy finished her weaving. Yay! That's the mystery, that it had we are going to fill it up with a weaving.
Wasn't as mysterious as she wanted it to be.
I guess not. Mary says, oh, that was a letdown. That's what it was for Mary. I let her down. Oh, dear. Sorry, Mary. that was the mystery, that we were going to fill it up with weaving. I didn't even tell Lisa we were going to weave, did I?
No. Nope.
She kind of guessed it somewhere along the line. I think when we cut the hole, she kind of knew.
Well, when you kept saying you were channeling me, that's when.
Yeah,
that
was it. I was channeling Lisa, and we were thinking about the same things. It was so funny that we would be thinking, have the same kind of ideas. And she was weaving in a circle. It was what was even more funny, was that she was weaving in a circle.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to mark my holes here. And then I'm going to take this whole signature and I'm going to fold it the opposite direction. Then my holes are right in the middle.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out why you were folding it the opposite direction.
Yeah,
But
that's why.
now I understand.
And I'm just going to keep that center really close together and put some clamps on it, because I'm not as good as Tanya, and I have to do that or it messes up on me.
Oh, don't say that. I just, for some reason, the clamps cause me more trouble than not. It's just odd, but it is. So, okay.
Now, one thing I didn't do was mark which was the top, because my holes are not
exactly the same.
Okay. Yeah, this is the top, so
okay.
I did good there. Yay.
Yay!
All right. And now I need my needle. And I'm just going to use this same stuff to sew it in.
That was my plan.
Okay, and I use 6 because I double it.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it doesn't pull through as bad if there's 2 strings instead of 1.
All right. That's
the only reason I double it, because my thread's definitely strong enough that it wouldn't have to be doubled.
But that's a really good idea. I didn't ever think of that before, because you're right. It probably does pull through less.
Okay. And I'm going to start with the bottom one here. The back, I guess I should say, the back signature. And just put it through. And then I'm going to bring this up here and clamp it so I don't pull it through. And then we're going to go in through that bottom hole and in through this bottom hole. then we'll go up here. Oops, let's not do that. And then we'll go back in here. Nope. Okay, where is it? There we go. And I can take these off now. And then want to pull it snug and tie it. And there's one signature.
Yay!
Yay! That worked pretty good. Okay, so we're going to take, let's make sure. All right, we'll take this one.
Fran says she has trousers that match your top. And Mary says she loves the weavings. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you for making that comment. So I realized I need to move my camera.
Oh, but we like your top.
Well, I'm glad. Okay.
Yeah, Suzanne apparently had a question. Let's see what she asked. Let's see here. Tanya above, okay. When I do the @ symbol to get red, do I leave out spaces between names? Mary, it depends. If their name, like Beth Schuler, has a space between Beth and Schuler, you leave a space. If like Fran's is Fran space on the edge, and that's all together, it has to be, the last 3 words have to be all together. If when you start typing, if you notice that the it will come up, there will be a little box that'll come up with the name on it, and you can just click on it. You shouldn't have to type the whole thing out completely. And if like you have Barb and Barbara, because we have Barb Filion, I think is how you say Barb's last name, and Barbara Clark, and a lot of times they're in streams together. If you type BARB, both names will come up, and then you can click on whichever one it is you want to speak to. I hope that makes sense. Just a minute, I'm scrolling because apparently Suzanne asked Lisa a question and I can't find it. So let me see if I can. Yeah, between Beth and Schuler, Mary, you have to have a space. Yes, for Mary, it would be the @ symbol and the Mary LTA with all one word. And that was not Suzanne's question, though. And now I'm hunting for it, Suzanne. Let's see.
Maybe she should just ask it again.
Yeah, she's gonna. I'm afraid Suzanne, you're gonna have to ask me again because I'm not finding it. Now, the other problem is, Suzanne, we do not see chat the same way you guys see it. Just so you know, the red things, like if you want to get our attention, the red does not show up in this kind of chat. When we're in StreamYard like this, it doesn't show up.
So capital letters work better for us.
Right. Although I've been so bad about watching chat that I've not been good. But Suzanne, would you type your question again for me? I'm sorry. And Mary says she didn't see Suzanne's question either. So okay. I'll bind in my signatures later. Need to get back to making masks for the local group. Okay, Kathy, that sounds great. The one thing I might be going to do to my signatures is just to add some little tabs and stuff, but I am not going to do very much to them. It's going to be pretty naked because I figure with all of this stuff on the front of it, naked is probably the wiser choice.
Well, and then it can be used for anything.
Yep, that's right. It can be, you know, an anything journal.
Okay, let's.
Oh, Fran says Suzanne's question is gone. So Suzanne, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to type it again for me. I apologize. I totally missed it. Okay, figures. Can jelly print onto white gessoed paper? Yes, you can jelly print onto white gessoed paper. Oh, Holly says vitamin D makes her sleepy. Sunshine makes me sleepy. Yep.
It's not showing up, Suzanne. When you said that is not my question, that's the last thing we saw from you besides I did. Maybe you're typing too long.
Pipe cleaner, sure, I would think so. They're going to be a little harder to make go circular, but they will work. Yeah, if it's too many characters, Suzanne, it might be an issue. That'd be about the only thing I could figure.
Okay, I'm fixing to put the third one in here. And just doing it the same way I did the others.
Joyce just says her canoe appeared at her back door and it's not even raining.
I have only got to canoe once, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, I've canoed quite a bit. Over, you know, many times. We of course canoed when Brandon was in Cub Scouts, but we canoed a lot when I grown up. First off, my grandparents bought a house on a lake where they actually lived in the house on the lake, not elsewhere, you know, and went to the lake for the weekend. They lived on the lake, which was really fun. And then there was a river very close to that we could canoe. So we canoed the river a lot. Got knocked in the face by a tree once and my glasses fell in the river and I thought they were going to be a very sad loss, but found them.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was not a good trip. We took someone with us who I did not want to take with us. And it definitely ended up being one of those things where I was probably glad I just didn't kill somebody before we got done. Okay, so somehow or another,
Just a second, let me go to you so you can. I'm just going to say one thing real quick. See how mine's kind of cracking right here and right
Yep.
here? I don't know if y'all can see that. But I'm going to glue a piece of fabric or lace or something right here. I probably will use lace since I've got some lace in here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do that, and then that's all I'm going to do to mine. So
That's funny that mine's not doing that. I would have expected it to.
yeah, I don't know. I did something wrong. When I put on my Mod Podge stuff is when that happens. So
Huh.
I know.
Okay, Suzanne, I still don't see Suzanne's question. Have we lost Suzanne? Somehow or another, guys, my my in and outs are just totally messed up. I don't know what I've done wrong. So I'm just going to kind of fix it with this. I'm just kind of locking in some I'm just kind of trying to lock in the fibers is what I'm doing. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do like a half hitch all the way around because it's very loose out here at the edges. And I don't think that what my plan was is going to make it any tighter. So I'm just going to do this, which means what I'm doing is I'm just going under and then I'm just wrapping it around before I do the next stitch. I just keep going under.
I'm sorry. I'm going to answer her. She says, can anyone see me? I can see that. And the last thing I see that you said before that, let me keep going and look, was when you said I did. And the thing that I see before that
was that.
Oh, she says, Janet, can you duplicate my question for Lisa, please? I see that. Let me go back and see if I can find it.
No, I couldn't find it. That was the thing, is I couldn't find it.
Well, I didn't even see that other one a minute ago, so I may have just missed it, but the last thing I see after that is, oh, Mary, can't wait till you get started. I look forward to it. And then LOL Beth.
Okay. Anyway, so I just went around a few times with this turquoise.
Stan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, hon. I and she said she wrote it again, and she just wrote it again.
Do you see my question to Lisa? That's the last thing I see you write before. Do you write it again?
Yes, she said she just wrote it again, and it is not showing up. I do not understand what it is.
No. Can anyone see me? And then, did you see my question to Lisa?
Yeah.
I just wrote it again, and no, that's
Suzanne. Could you go over to Facebook and text me and message me on Facebook with it, and I'll check my phone and see what the message is.
Oh, that was almost perfect length piece.
Because that's kind of weird.
It is weird.
Okay,
it's I am kind of weird.
Yeah, I am not going to try to get all the way out to the edge with this because it's doing what I want it to do. So I'm happy. See right there like that. It's fuzzy on the inside. I did cut my insides off the way Lisa did. I am pulling it kind of out from the middle because the middle was kind of cool, and yet all my fuzzies were ending up in one place. So that is that. I will probably put a couple of beads on there. Now my next decision is whether or not I want something to tie this with. Because I can sew my signatures in later, but I thought maybe if I'm going to tie it, I might want to show you what I'm going to do with tying it. And I have this, which is the same kind of colors.
They don't have to necessarily be bad words, Suzanne. I know
That's
when
right.
people say fussy cut, a lot of times it won't allow, YouTube won't allow that, and it'll hide it until a moderator says it's okay. That's a term I have to okay quite a bit when I'm moderating.
Okay, I have decided what I'm going to do. I am going to, I think we better tie the knot in it first to see. Yeah, I'm going to tie a knot in here. Yep, that works. I'm going to punch a hole in here. Which hole punch am I using? There we go. Okay, is that kind of in the middle? Yeah, kind of in the middle. Where's my hole punch? I can't see it. Put the glasses on, Tanya. Okay, there's a hole. I'm using a smaller hole. Did Suzanne's question ever show up?
No, I don't think so. She says Mary asked her to rephrase it, and she said there's no bad words, but then she says I did, Mary, but it's still not showing up.
Like I said, Suzanne, PM me with it over on Facebook, and I'll get it on my phone and see what it is. Okay, so I have that, and I'm going to cut about this much, I think, and shove it through the hole with this.
I think I'm going to need to do something like that on mine too, because it's already popping.
Yeah, it's pretty standard that it's gonna pop. So if I use a small enough hole, I think just tying a knot in this. This is just some of that fun old scarf yarn.
Yeah.
Come on, pull through there. Pull through there. Yep. Okay, so now I've got a knot there, and then I'm going to tie a knot in it here. See, this is that. This is what that looks like. Okay, and if I just do the same thing on the back one. This yarn is lots of fun. It works real well for ties. My misspelling the fact that I misspell so many things must really make the computer crazy, because I haven't had trouble with that before. But Suzanne, I'm really sorry you're having trouble with this, getting a question out. Did you find something to do a tie with, Lisa? Oh, I love the lace on there.
I'm trying to think about. Okay, I found the message. She says, "My question, Lisa, I intended to ask you this since you weaved on an embroidery hoop. Can I weave on a rectangular or oblong hoop?" Suzanne, that would be really hard. Let me show you why that would be hard. When you have your oblong hoop, the sides are going to be.
Make yourself bigger so she can see, hon.
Okay.
Or just take the whole page is what I'm trying to say.
If it's squished like this, it's harder to go around. Now, if you took and you made little notches in your hoop all the way around, then an oblong would work. But trying to go around those edges, it would be almost like working on a rectangle. And you could do it. You could just weave across or weave up and down. But the circle, I think, holds better than an oblong one would. I think they would slide more. But if you cut little notches, like make marks on your hoop and then cut little notches like with a fingernail file or something that your yarn can stick in, then I think you could do it on an oblong hoop. I just think it would be harder. But I haven't ever tried it. So I could be wrong. It could be just fine. I hope that
it's got to be some kind of YouTube glitch. I'm sure it is some kind of YouTube glitch.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. We have those a lot.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And the worst of it is that because we don't have the same chat when we're in StreamYard, it makes it harder.
Yeah.
So.
And we don't have any control over it.
Right.
Like we do in Facebook. So we can't, you just go in there and fix it.
Okay.
Oh, I have a problem.
What's your problem?
I have all this where I tore so none of that is going to be really, I'll have to come from way back here, but that's not a big deal, I guess.
But, with especially if you do it like this, because it's coming from the inside. Now, if you wanted to protect your pages more, you might want to come.
I'm just thinking if you tied it would mess with this.
Yeah. I may pull this like that so that it pulls from across the top of the pages more. See? There.
Oh, now that's an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to think about this a minute.
I think Lisa got it finally, Mary. I think she answered her.
She asked me, Mary, she asked me in Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We don't know why it wasn't popping up, but it wasn't, so.
All right, let's.
Okay, let's see here.
Up here. I'm going to go right there and right there.
Okay. Okay. Now then, let's see what we're going to use here. Joyce is going. Bye, hon.
Bye-bye, Joyce.
This is
Okay.
a centering ruler, and that's I use it all the time. So, but it's a little hard to center when your edge is a little crooked. So I'm just going to kind of guess. I'm good with guessing. As long as I have the holes the same distance apart for all of the things, we're good. So if I put one at 0 and one at 3 and one at 3, and come over here. I'm doing my best to center, but that doesn't mean it's going to be exact. Okay, and now I got to get one in the middle. And how far apart is it?
Hey, Joyce, why are you mad at yourself? Well,
Yeah,
don't be mad at yourself.
Yeah,
Give yourself the grace you would give anybody else. That's all I can
that's
say.
right. Okay. I don't know. Well, Lisa, part of the problem is the crooked edge. I just realized these are way off because the edge is kind of crooked. So I'm going to
You just got to do the best you can, and
yeah, I'm just going to adjust the attitude, and they should be all right.
Okay, I decided I'm going to take my stuff through like this.
Oh yes.
And then I can take another one up from the other end and tie them together.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll work. I may be mad at myself too. I think I'm going to go ahead and tie these in a knot.
Yeah, underneath there.
Yeah. Okay. So they won't come out.
Hi, Annie. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. Good to see you. Well, we'll see if this works all right or not.
I'm not sure whether it's the lawnmower or leaf blower that I'm hearing that right now, but something's running next door. Okay. So my holes are in my cover. I have one needle threaded.
Okay. Let's see if this will work. And I'm going to take it like this.
There we go. Now I can see it.
I may not have made these long enough.
Well, you know how to fix that.
Yeah.
Just add some to it.
And it'll be easy to do because I have some.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not glued in or anything.
Yeah. Well, you could just tie some more onto it.
There you go.
Oh, that looks cute. Yeah.
So that way it gives it more strength because I used 2 holes.
Mm-hmm. Instead of 1. Yep.
And then the tie stays inside there. So I'm happy with that. Oh, almost 3:30. Good grief.
Yeah. It's a good thing you didn't have to take Ethan because, otherwise we'd have been late.
Yep. Mm. Well, usually 3:30 is when I have to get off to take him anyway, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Okay, I need to find a few beads to put on this, I think, while I'm sitting here doing nothing.
No, we can't be sitting here doing nothing.
That's right. Wasting time.
There is nothing about sitting here doing nothing that is allowed. Okay. Now then. I have a needle. I have it threaded. There we go. You can hear beads.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, come on now, go in there. Why aren't you going in there? There you go.
I think it's Beth who says to put a little bit of glue on the ends of the string and so you can string your beads.
Glue it, spin it, and then let it dry. Glue, nail polish works too. Especially if you're trying to do something that's more fibrous rather than thread-like. Okay, let's see here. We got to get this through that hole without splitting that
I'm going to use this art glitter glue and see how it works.
Okay. Get through that hole without splitting that thread. Did you do it? Maybe.
I don't know. We can't see.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. It's more important for you to see than us, but.
Okay. I always waste a lot of thread when I'm putting in signatures because I so hate not having enough thread. But yeah, I did it without too much trouble. Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay, one signature is in.
Oops.
I guess I'm supposed to leave that longer, but I didn't. Oh well. I like knots. That looks like a beautiful sky. Oh, that's just Crayola watercolor. That particular page. I didn't have quite enough. These are watered down acrylics. But I didn't have quite enough watered down acrylics, so I stuck in some of my Crayola watercolor pages. We did some of those papers like that right at the end of my live stream Sunday. Thank you, Beth. She used way too much binding on her crunchy journal. Oh dear. Well, then you save it for making something else. I always save all my pieces of not of this kind of thread so much, but of the wax linen, because wax linen is, more expensive. So I always save that. Thread just to be sure, because I use little pieces like that to make tassels and stuff like that. So hi, Gloria.
Hey, Gloria. Good to see you.
We have to finish soon though, because I'm about to run out of tea.
Yeah, I need to get off soon. I told the kids I would be on until about 3:30. So.
Okay. Well, I only have 2 more things to bind and then I'll be done. So. It's also getting very warm in this studio.
I was sitting here thinking, it sure is feeling humidity in here, and then I realized I have my humidifier on in here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it will do that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These are kind of big strings, so I'm having to kind of pick and choose
your beads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes too, if you can split the thread after the fact and put 2 little beads on the thread. Not all threads can you do that with, but sometimes that's how I do things.
Well, we might could do that with this one.
This one's nice and bright in the middle. Oops. That is one thing about wax linen that this thread does not is not as nice about. With wax linen, it's so much easier not to split the thread. With this thread, you have to be really careful that you're not splitting the threads when you're going through a hole.
Yes, that does. I almost did several times. I had to really pay attention.
And this one especially, because this one is very fuzzy. For crochet thread, I don't like it to crochet with, honestly, because it's really fuzzy. Okay, come on now. Where is the needle? There we go. Oh, you guys can't see a thing, can you? Sorry.
We were using our imagination.
Oh, well, sorry about that. Actually,
I was so busy I didn't notice.
That was a good thing, because y'all need to use your imagination much more than we do. See?
That's true.
Sometimes, it's not wanting to go right back through the hole the right way, so you have to go down through here and find the silly needle.
I think I must have given most of my imagination to my kids, because they just have nonstop imagination.
Well, that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Makes me tired, though, to listen to them. brain just cannot move that fast. And with Hannah, it doesn't even have to be, well, same with Ethan. It doesn't even have to be something out of their imagination. Hannah's talking to me about the Silmarillion, the Tolkien book, the Silmarillion.
Uh-huh.
And she's going on and on about, well, these people say it means this and this, and she's just going on about all the different ins and outs of it and all, I'm just like, I'm lost. And I think I even read it, 40 years ago, but I sure don't remember any of it.
I will tell you that I didn't get very far with the Tolkien books. I didn't like them. And it's so funny that my son, who is an insatiable reader, is that the right word? I'm not sure that's the right word. He didn't like them either. And I know that's sacrilege to say I didn't like Tolkien, but I didn't. And
well, I think you're perfectly entitled to your opinion. Doesn't bother me a bit for you to say that. I think they're fine. I don't think they're the be all end all. They are the thing that defined what we call fantasy now. And I get that, but anyway, I certainly didn't get into it, like Hannah does. She really analyzes it, and the storytelling and the world building and the language and all of that stuff. And
well, part of that is her writer nature.
Yeah.
I think, Kathy, that there's a lot more of us. It's probably genetic. There's a lot more of us streaming right now because we just wanted to be closer to our community. That's why Lisa and I decided to stream every Tuesday instead of just a couple of Tuesdays in the month. So for the next month, at least, maybe a little longer, we're going to stream every Tuesday. Keep people together. Keep people not worrying.
Stay positive.
And
stay positive.
Stay positive. Do some art. Stay positive. That was kind of our plan. Yes, Fran. Mary and I are on the same time zone. It's 3:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, look what I found.
Ooh, that was pretty.
I'm going to hang that from one of these.
Oh, yeah, that'll work. I forgot to thread my needle.
Actually, I think I may put them both through that and let that be and just let them hang together.
That will be a good idea, and that will make it easier to tie.
Yeah.
And if you didn't hear, next Tuesday at noon, we're going to glue stuff. That's just what we're going to do. We're just, whether we make a master board or glue in a glue book, we're just going to glue stuff. That's our plan. So that will be on my channel next Tuesday. And what we're going to do is we're going to swap back and forth, just do our, thing like we usually do, trade channels back and forth. And then the Tuesday after that, the 7th, we're going to start our April book. And Lisa, this week sometime, Lisa will get a little video up about that and what we're going to do. It's something we've done before, but we both want to do it, and we're both going to do it in a different way. And Lisa, we were discussing it. I had already picked images that I was going to use, so I don't know why I was thinking I was going to do something different. I have some botanical images that I wanted to use.
Oh, that'll be good.
So, we're just going to do another scrappy book, but we're going to do it with book papers and multiple size pages. So Lisa's going to do a little video about that this week, and she'll tell you what you need. But you've got got a couple weeks to get it, so it's not a big rush or anything.
Yeah,
And
and
it will be
it's not
stuff
like
that you have.
something you don't have probably.
Yeah, it's not stuff that you don't have, and it should be easy to. Yeah, so. Now see, that one went right through. It's like, okay. I don't know why. Sometimes they just misbehave.
These I just now saw it, Suzanne. These are these are the buttons that I still have that were my grandmother's. There's some other stuff mixed in, but these are the buttons that I have that are hers that I didn't give to Hannah and the cousins. And so they just sit in here and I just enjoy looking at them. And then there's some jewelry in here that I was given, just one, pieces of jewelry that I was given by my stepfather that were part of his wife's collection, and she was, the mom of my best friend, so she was very precious to me, too. So it's fun to have those to look at in here too. So it's been fun to have all these things in here together. And then there's some stuff like these little dolls. I don't know why they're in here.
Oh, they're adorable, though.
Oh, see, little man, a little lady.
That's fun.
They're.
That's fun.
I'm trying to think of where they're from. I ordered them, from a free trade thing to, help somebody make a living. But I can't remember. I want to say Guatemala but I'm not
I
positive.
think so, probably.
But they're just adorable.
I think somebody brought me some from Guatemala that are similar.
Yeah. And so those are fun too. And then this I ordered this piece. It's a geode that my plan was to put make a spindle out of it, but I thought it was more evenly balanced than it is. It looks like that all this sticking out over here would weigh about the same as this, but it doesn't because it's hollow. So so it wouldn't make a good spindle, so it's just here.
Okay.
But when I ordered it, I thought it would be fun to do that with. And then these are things you stick on a candle. And they just, they have this big spike in them that you just poke them into a candle. But I thought they would be fun to take that spiky thing off and glue onto a journal. I just haven't done it yet. I still think it would be pretty on a journal. So those are in here as well. And then these little flag tag things I made or just got thrown in here because there was actually space.
Okay. There was room, so she put them there.
There they are.
Okay. Well, we're gonna try to make a bird. If we can't make a bird, we're gonna have a dragonfly instead. But we're gonna try and make a bird. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna make you the whole thing so we can watch you make a bird.
Okay.
Because I'm just gonna sit here and relax.
Okay, we'll see, and because we'll see if it works. We'll just see if it looks like a bird or if it looks really dumb. Because I have, let me make myself bigger.
Yeah, do that. I love how fuzzy your thing is. That's just adorable. It doesn't look woven, but it's pretty.
I was gonna say, it doesn't look like weaving at all, but it came out real fun. So, I have these little angel wings. That doesn't look like a bird. Okay, I think maybe we need a seed.
Nancy says those might be worry dolls from Guatemala.
Yes, they probably are worry dolls.
I think you're right. I think that's what they are. That rings
Okay.
a bell.
I've decided I need head pins and toys, so I'll be right back. You have to just talk for a minute.
Oh, I bet that's the same thing. Are they worry dolls? See, I had totally forgotten that.
About worry dolls?
Yeah, that they were about worry dolls.
You know,
I
one
just
of these
knew
days
that
I'm
I
gonna
bought
worry
them to, help out.
which drawer is which.
Oh,
If I happen to look, I'm just gonna know which drawer is which.
okay. You're just gonna know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna know. I mean, I've only been in this house 3 years and I can't seem to find anything. I open these doors 50,000 times, and that just irritates me. Oh, and of course I packed a bunch of stuff, but I don't know where it's at. Well, we'll just have to see if we can do without it. Now I know I have more cutting. There we go. Okay. I packed my tools for making jewelry. I don't, my favorites, I put them in a bag, and I'm not sure they got back in the house. So, oh, a dream doll, if you put it under your pillow, yeah, that would be a good. Okay, let's see here. Did we lose Lisa?
I'm here.
Okay.
I was checking out an email from a friend and seeing if it was something I needed to answer now or if it could wait.
If it could wait. Okay. Let's see here. We'll put that on there. Put the bird wings. Okay, let's see here. Make this little bird fat.
Good night, Mary. Have a nice nap.
I don't think that looks like a bird.
It looks like an angel.
Yep, it looks like an angel. No matter what I do, it's probably going to look like an angel. I was thinking maybe I could make it into a bird, but I'm afraid no matter what I do.
13, Gloria. 13
Okay.
holes.
Now then, does that look like a bird?
That looks more like a bird.
Yeah. Well, I think it looks okay for a bird. So we'll make a
We
couple
will
of
all
birds.
know it's a bird.
We'll all know it's a bird. Okay, we'll know it's a bird. So I'm good, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm probably doing that off camera. Sorry. Those are the most hateful head pins. One of the things you must learn if you ever do anything with a piece of wire is never let go of the piece of wire you're cutting until after it's cut. I will do that again so that you can see. The reason being is that wire flies and it can fly flat in your eye or in someone else's eye. Okay. Oh, I'm off camera again. Sorry. Okay. You grab it. You bend it in the right angle. You wrap it around, spin your pliers, take the tail, and wrap it around here. And you want to wrap it nice and smooth, not messy. And then when you cut it,
that's easier to say than do.
Yeah, well, after I can tell you I've done 5,000 of these little things before, at least 5,000. See how I have hold of this piece of wire and I have hold of that. so that when I cut this, I still have hold of both pieces, because that piece right there will fly. It just
And it's sharp.
and it's sharp and it's hateful and people get hurt, especially like in a class or something. And if it flies off in the studio, then later when you're barefoot, guaranteed you will step on it. Guaranteed. Okay.
That would
Now
not be
then,
good.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one on each of these.
And then they can rest in the nest.
And they can rest right there in the nest. And I'm just going to tie them in.
Gloria, she made 13 holes. And when you go through and you put it back on, then down here, or your last one gives you 2 strings. Oh, you can't see what I'm saying.
Yep. Just to go ahead and switch.
Finish that first.
Okay. Because, well, that's fine. Because I'll put the piece of paper back up that I made.
I'll just let you do that.
Okay. There, now they're sort of in the nest. And they kind of look like little birds. They're sort of little bird-like.
They're baby birds.
Yeah. Well, baby birds usually are in the nest, so.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull back out so you can see the piece of paper. All right. So this is my hole, and I'm looking for my ink pen, sorry. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing because I got something else on top of me. Okay. Okay, guys. Gloria says now it looks like birds. So I'm glad, because they're kind of in the nest. So this was my hole. I just took my paper and put it underneath and drew a hole. We have sort of a clock. We have 12 o'clock at the top, 6 o'clock at the bottom, 3 and 9. And I put my holes in about 3/8 to half an inch outside the edge of the hole, excuse me. So I put my first hole up here at 12. Give me just a second to double check that and make sure that it's not somebody needing something. It's something I can take care of later, but our friends made it to Nashville, which is a good thing. Okay, so we put a dot at 12. Then at 6 o'clock, this would be 6 o'clock right here. Instead of putting one right below the 6, we put one just a little to the right and a little to the left of the 6. Okay, then we put in, this one is at 3 and this is at 9, so we put one dot just a little above the 3 and a little above the 9. Okay, so now I have these main dots. These are the main dots. Okay, and then I add 2 dots in between each main dot, so that I end up with a total of 13 dots. Well, when I start to put my threads in to go across this, I came up from inside and I went down, I went over, I went up, I went under, I went across like this, up here, up to this one. Now you notice these are not all coming together in the center. That's okay, because when you start to weave, they'll come all together in the center. Down, up to here. Okay, here's where my problem came. I came under here and then up to this one. Okay. I ended up with 2 threads right here. These 2 are coming out of the same hole. This hole right here has 2 threads. So what we did was, when we started stitching around, we pretended that these 2 were 1 thread, and we pulled them together in the center, so that we ended up with 13 spokes. The deal is, to make it work the way you really need it to work, it needs to have an odd number of spokes. Now, Lisa, can you make yourself back and show us your embroidery hoop, please? Okay, make yourself big so that they can see you. Okay, what Lisa did when she wrapped that embroidery hoop, each thread that went across is actually doubled, but there are 25 spokes. And so you could double them on your cardboard as well, on your journal cover as well, and you wouldn't end up with this funny extra piece of thread that I have.
But
yeah,
the first one and the last one are not doubled. So you're going to have something odd anyway.
Yeah, you're going to have something odd, but you always need an odd number of spokes to make the weaving go over, under the way it's supposed to. So, okay. Does that answer your question, dear? Does that help? Do you want to do a little flip of your journal real quick, Lisa?
Okay. Well, here, let me go back to.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's my weaving. Woo. And I put lace on the back because it was kind of cracking a little bit there. And it wasn't cracking like through this. It was just the paper right there that was cracking. So it was more looks than anything. But I added that to it. And then I put this little charmy thing on top. And then I made a double hole thing on the top and the bottom so I could close it. And then I have, this is what the inside looks like. I just clipped off all my fibers. And they just tuck right in there real nicely, but they're just kind of messy there, and that's okay. And then I have 3 signatures, but my 3 signatures just have 6 pages in them, because when I did 8 pages in them, it was just too much.
It's probably the thickness of your paper.
Probably.
You know.
It's just copy paper, but it I didn't iron it or anything after I did and it's puffy because of the way we, you know.
Well, mine's been around a while. That may be why.
The painting and then the coffee dyeing, you know, gave it double texture.
Oh, that's right. You coffee dyed them.
Yeah.
See, mine are not. They were just painted.
So let's go back and show your papers, and let's look at the difference and see if we can tell see, mine had all that extra wrinkle in it because of the coffee dyeing process made it even more wrinkly.
Right. Plus, like I said, I've had these papers for a while, and they've been in the pile of painty paper, which, you know, probably has flattened them out too.
Right.
Yeah, Debbie, the odd number of holes is very important. That's the big thing. So this is mine. I didn't put a lot of beads. I just put the little birds we just made on there, and it's very fuzzy. It's got lots of different textures in it, and it actually does not go all the way out to the edge, if you can see back here. Now, I might see if I can find something to put in there, but I don't know. I'm perfectly content with the way it is. I did just trim off things. Now, the fabric that I used, I have to leave a little bit long because it's fabric and it could pull out. But I'm real happy with how it came out. It's nice and fuzzy, and that's kind of what I wanted. nice and textured. I just put some yarn things in, and I can tie it from the inside, or I can pull this to the outside, whichever. I don't know which way I want it yet. Maybe put it like that. That may be the way I like it, because I like this little tabby thing up here.
Yeah, that's cute.
And then I just have 3 signatures, but I did have 8 pages per signature. These are really watered down acrylics, and then some of the pages I ran a little short, so I used some of my watercolored pages, and we did some of that at the end of my live stream Sunday. So if you want to take a look at how I did those, I've got videos up on both of them. But Suzanne, if you will email me, I will send you the links to those videos. That my email is, this is Lisa's channel, but my email's always in one of my videos. There'll be an email, and if you'll email me, I'll send you the links to it, okay? On how we did the papers. Debbie says she would sit and play all day, but yeah, I got to go cook dinner. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah, I got to go check on my kiddos and my mom.
Yeah. Is she better today, Lisa?
She is better today.
Okay.
She, when I talked to her this morning, she said she was, she feels like eating, which a lot of times she doesn't. And so, and she, she's like a little fragile bird. She needs to eat. So, so I was glad to hear that she had eggs and bacon for breakfast, and I took her some more soup. So,
it sounds like whatever they gave her is helping.
Yeah. I think so. And I'm very grateful, because I was very worried.
Yeah.
But
thank you, Kathy. I just rounded the corners, and I really wanted to make this kind of funky, and I'm very happy with how that came out. And I'm pleased. Mine didn't crack, but that just, it might later. And if it does, I'll have to put something back there. Okay. So, don't forget that we are going to play next Tuesday, noon Central. On my channel, we're going to glue stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to glue stuff. That's all. I'm not even going to do a video. I'm just telling you, we're going to glue stuff. We might make a master board. We might, I might make postcards. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to glue stuff. I might glue in my Hulk. I have a Hulk. So, one of those books. I might glue stuff in there. I haven't done that in a long time. So, and then go ahead, Lisa.
I was just going to say, that reminds me, I've got a ton of stuff I saved from Happy Mail just to put in what I call Bulky Baby, which is kind of like Hulk, I'm sure.
I'm sure if Bulky Baby is, it's probably like Hulk. And maybe that's what we'll do, is we'll glue in Bulky Baby and Hulk. So
that sounds good.
And then the following Tuesday, the 7th of April, we'll start our April craft together book, excuse me. And that'll be on Lisa's channel. She is going to put up a post this week. So we'll see y'all later.
Suzanne, where you ask about my mom, she, what she had was the type A flu, and she got past that, but she never really got well. And last week I was asking her to go to the doctor, but she was like, no, I just need a little more time. Well, she finally decided yesterday to go in, and she had pneumonia. The flu, sort of resolved itself, but it turned into pneumonia as far as the coughing part's concerned. And the doctor told her that the type A flu tends to do that. So, so he gave her some medicine, and he said he felt like she would be better in a few days. So, and that was just yesterday, but this morning she already looked better. She didn't look as fragile and as exhausted as she has been the last few days. So, and yeah, and keep her in your prayers. Thank you. We'll doctor
Lisa?
your sore throat, Beth. Yes.
Lisa, yeah, Janet just posted that you'll be uploading
A prep
a
video.
video on
Yes. Hopefully today or tomorrow, but definitely before the weekend.
gargle with salt water, Beth.
Okay. Well, God bless you all. Have a great day, and we will see you when we see you, or Sunday at
Yeah.
Tanya's place, or Friday at Mary's place, or
That's-
whenever Becky streams. I don't know what she's streaming quite often now, so we'll see you somewhere. Goodbye, all.
Bye-bye.